Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Bobby Trippett.
I'm Michael Tanner.
Johnny Parker here.
And today we're talking about 1985's Invasion U.S.A.
It's time to die.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the tea. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is it, knocker?
I don't know. Spooky got no real rhythm.
Hello, Pizza Man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
For jacking off. Come on, just step on the gas before we get creamed.
So guys, we're here talking about Invasion U.S.A., a movie that's patriotic as fuck. For our 4th of July episode, Chuck Norris is finally on the Grindbin.
Happy birthday, America. This is our present to you.
Absolutely.
It's like, let's take a movie, remove all the story involved with it, and just make it kill some terrorists.
Hell yeah. We're
Yeah.
making the grind bin great again.
Who are the terrorists? It doesn't
Everybody.
matter.
Literally everybody.
If you're a person from another country, you are a terrorist.
This has got to be one of the few movies I've seen where they just mix all sorts of people into one gang, I guess. You got a guy from Japan, I think, a guy from Russia, a guy from Cuba.
Chinese guy at one point.
I've seen this in a number of movies and TV. It's usually like if it's a clan of bad guys, it's the multicultural pals. You know, it's the every terrorist organization. I mean, we saw this in Bulletproof too.
That's true.
Where it's like the terrorist organizations are always the Burger King Kids Club.
It's really
And one brave white
inspiring.
guy has to stop them.
Yeah, it's inspiring that America does bring the rest of the world together.
This is true, and hatred of us, but yes. That's what was always confusing for me as a kid growing up watching those movies. Like, well, I know they're the heroes, but I kind of want to cheer for the bad guys and have more black people over there. Look at them, just having a great old time. Got gainful employment. Shit, the terrorists are doing a good job.
We got his shit together.
Exactly. Terrorists had affirmative action before other places did. whole team was a diversity hire.
So, guys, this movie, $10 million to produce, but it made $17 million at the box office, so it was a success. And until 2007, it was the second highest selling home video for all of MGM's movies except for Gone with the Wind.
What?
Seriously?
Until 2007.
Yes, till
Seriously?
2007. Yes.
So people were picking up Gone with the Wind and Invasion USA.
Yes, this was
Something
number
for
one.
mom, something for dad.
Yeah, number one by far. People were just buying this like crazy for decades.
Man.
So, I have no idea why.
Well, maybe because it appeals to the international market.
Oh, diverse cast. They put
There
that
it
on the
is.
cover.
It was
Yeah.
like Fast and Furious before you got Fast and Furious. There's a little bit of something for everybody.
This is a canon movie. Welcome back to the Grind
And
Bin.
how?
We've done Last American Virgin, the first two Ninja movies. Not Ninja 3 yet.
Do time.
Definitely.
Soon will be sidekicks, right?
Oh, man.
That might be too good for the bin. I don't know.
I think it's way too good for the band.
I think it might be too sad for the bid.
Didn't that movie
Yeah,
win an
yeah.
Oscar?
Well,
Hey, what's the name of the kid
What
in the
side?
movie?
Jonathan Brandis
Hey.
John,
was
could
the
you-
actor. I
could-
don't know the character name.
Can we do a Jonathan Brandis month and we start with Ladybugs and go into sidekicks?
well, like Bobby said, that might end kind of depressing with
It
that.
will.
one.
will.
It's gonna
that
get real
was,
sad.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll do a mini bit about Sequest.
I was just going to say.
Sequest.
Minivan.
Yeah.
Sequest, DSV.
So this movie, infamous, if you've seen the movie about the documentary about Canon Films, Electric Boogaloo, not Breaking 2, it's a documentary called Electric Boogaloo. They go in all the
doc.
background of Canon Films, and this movie is a big topic in that because it is a movie that, again, costs $10 million. I mean, and we'll all agree, it doesn't look cheap.
No, not
I
at
mean,
all.
the set
Not at
pieces
all.
are crazy.
I mean,
Those
we're
are real
legitimately
alligators.
blowing up buildings in this movie.
Oh, and we'll go into that. They were legitimately
Yeah.
blowing up buildings. But this movie clocked in, I think it was around 2 hours and 30 minutes almost in the final cut. And
Which is insane. to
yeah,
think
Golden
about.
Globus said, fuck that. We're not going to pay for all these reels and
you know
send
we're
this
canon,
out.
right?
Yeah. So they cut out all the story and just kept all the expensive action scenes, and you have basically a jackass of action scenes. Is it just goes from one stunt to the next, and
It's like
there's
you
no
know,
story.
you know how some kids just pick all the cheese and toppings off their pizza and just eat that in a big ball and leave the crust. That's kind of what they did with this movie.
Now, I saw this in the theater.
Wait, what?
Oh my
I
god!
saw this in the theater with my dad. So this is continuing the I saw this movie in the theater.
Did you also have it on VHS?
I did not. But
Fortunately, there were no baby robots in this
there were no
movie,
baby
so-
robots that I
so
could
no
have
tears
mourned
this
for.
time?
I forget what year this came out. 86? So
Yes.
I was so I was a little bit older, so not as prone to weep openly about dead robots. But dead kids didn't faze me. But I remember this movie, and I remember everything about this movie, but I thought I had forgotten a lot of it. It turns out I had not. There really wasn't there. I thought I had forgotten all the plot elements, but nope. I just remembered it perfectly.
You and them forgot all the plot elements.
As we go through it, the first 30 minutes makes sense.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
all of a sudden, you're like, wait, hold on. Who's this guy they're talking about? And wait, somebody died, and just plot elements just happen very fast. There's like supposedly characters that I think were introduced in the other cut that we just see little scenes of them, and like we're supposed to care about them, but we just jump from one thing to the next. The next thing we know, the movie's over.
Yeah.
Reporter's there, reporter's gone, reporter's back again, reporter's gone.
Apparently
Reporter just
she
missed the
knows
last
Chuck
hour.
suddenly. Like,
Yeah.
they're buddies
Oh.
now, and then they don't.
She goes immediately from cowboy to like, but when your wife died, almost.
Yeah. This just evolves into a series of Chuck Ex Machina. Of just vignettes where suddenly Chuck bursts through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man and starts mowing down terrorists.
Now, you were saying, Johnny, that international markets, maybe it was successful there. Apparently, in the German version,
Really?
they cut out the fact that the bad guy, Richard Lynch, is Russian because of tensions with...
Because it was East and West Germany at the time.
So they cut that out, and what is it here? They don't say what country they did it from, but they changed his name. Oh, to Harns.
To Harms?
Stuff.
And that was it. They just changed his name and like took out all the I'm doing it because I'm a Russian and any of that.
Huh.
So that for the German market,
How
they
many
got a
cuts
little
of this
bit
movie
different.
are there?
Well, I mean, if you're dubbing it all, it doesn't matter. You can just change it to whatever you want. But they took out all the Russian stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
There was a sequel to this.
Wait, what?
It was intended to be a sequel. It was made. It's called Avenging Force in 1986.
Oh, yeah.
It was going to star Chuck Norris as Matt Hunter, but he was not interested, so they just rewrote it for Michael Dudikoff.
It did not change the name, right? It's still Michael Dudikoff plays Matt Hunter.
Yeah.
But
So is this like a Jack Ryan thing? Is this
yes,
still basically
there was always a
Yeah.
Jack Ryan
part of that storyline? But
Yeah. And a thing I read was like, is it a prequel? Is it a sequel? Nobody knows.
Oh my god.
No one knows.
man, alternate timeline? Is this Mirror World Chuck?
Eventually, they just said it was his own movie. It's like, no, its its own standalone.
So it's
thing.
like Cyborg being Masters of the Universe 2.
Yeah.
And they just tweaked a bunch of things and made it a Van Damme movie.
Wait, what?
I don't know
You
about
know,
that.
wait, what?
Masters of the Universe had a sequel written. And,
Right.
only Masters of the Universe didn't do well enough.
Yeah.
So they changed all the names, changed the locations, did a quick once-over to make it its own thing. And that's the movie Cyborg with Van Damme.
Yeah.
No way.
So
Yeah.
in some like early like TV guide articles, it's referred to as Cyborg Masters of the Universe 2.
Wow.
And if you look, the only real elements that stick from Masters of the Universe is the bad guy gang. Which, if you look at it, you're like, that guy's Skeletor, that guy's Beastman, that guy's Tila, or that girl's Tila, and you're like, oh, okay, I see that, but that's pretty much all
Like they
that
fill the
remains.
roles. They
yeah,
hit all the right spots to
Yep.
be that. You're like wondering why the bad guy in Cyborg is going, yeah, all the time. You're like, wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Why does Van Damme keep trying to hold a sword? But he has no sword.
He just does a straddle split and puts his fist in the air.
So the only other background thing I have is that the UK version apparently cut 10 seconds out of the movie.
What 10?
They removed the groin shoot.
Oh, that was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they took it out.
but
They're
there's
like,
two groin
So both of them, I
shootings that
presume.
happen in it.
Because that's his thing. That's his calling.
Yeah.
card.
Okay, they removed two scenes. Probably two of the best parts is one of the groin shootings and the woman getting her head smashed through a coke.
That part,
Oh.
like, that was rough.
So that scene
it
basically
was.
got cut.
Yeah.
But it was pretty much the original magic trick, like from Dark Knight in a way.
Yep.
Like as
I
soon as I
thought
saw
about
it, I
that
was
too.
like, yeah.
Nolan's a fucking hack.
That's all.
That's what this
You
podcast
see, Johnny, we
aims
do
to
this a
prove.
bunch on this show where we discover who's a hack because we keep finding all the originals.
Seems like it's everybody, you know?
Yeah.
Wait, I think there was an episode where I went off on Christopher Nolan for a long time, and then you edited it out, which, fair enough. But Christopher Nolan's a
Yeah.
hack.
Wait,
I mean,
really?
when we're talking about Little Red Riding Hood versus the monsters, we don't need to go into a 20-minute interlude about Christopher Nolan.
I was something else that night.
You were on one.
Damn.
Yeah.
You also put the food of Mexico on blast.
Oh
in
yeah,
that
I was
one.
like, Mexican food just isn't that great. It's good.
Wait, what?
It's good.
You live in California.
I know. It's
You're
good.
really not allowed to say that.
But there's
Yeah,
like
but he's
That's like living in Jamaica. It's like, you know what? I really like reggae. I'm just saying. Steel drums, they're a waste of fucking time. Rather
And
use
that
as a
would be
trash
true.
can.
That would be true.
Oh, what are you doing, Michael?
Oh man, I think there's some things that have a upper limit. There is a ceiling for how good Mexican food is. Hey, I love a good burrito. I love it.
That's not
Burritos
even
are my
real
thing.
Mexican food. That's an
But it's
American
like
creation.
it's all
That's- oh
B
my
plus.
gosh.
It's all B
This is
plus.
it.
That's like you're saying you don't like Chinese food. It's like, yeah, orange chicken sucks. Like, we didn't, we made orange chicken.
That's not even there. You've never been more Midwestern than right now.
Oh man, taquitos not that great.
That's also us. That's not them.
Listen, I was at Denny's and I had a quesadilla.
Oh my
and that was not that good. I don't know
Are you-
what those
that's your
people are talking
whore.
about.
Are you basing your entire opinion about Mexican food off Chipotle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now you know why I
Chipotle-
cut it out. I needed backup. So
But you
take
know what
it
he
away.
likes? He likes Taco Bell, though.
Right.
Chalupas are his favorite.
Oh, fun fact. Actually, know the girl who the chalupa is based on her family recipe. She was.
You know Catherine Chalupa?
Yeah.
Oh.
Of the
And you told her
Veracruz
parents-
chalupas.
Chalupas.
You told her parents when you ate it, you're like, well, there is a ceiling. It's fine.
This is fine. This is perfectly decent.
This is getting right close to that
Mr. and
ceiling.
Mrs. Chalupa.
Yeah.
No, she was a food tester for Taco Bell in San Diego. Their food lab is in San Diego, and she was like,
Goggles,
"Hey,
white
I've
coat.
got this family recipe." And she introduced the chalupa, and this
Oh,
was
crap.
this was several years before it got introduced. But
Wow, really? Did she get paid money? Did she get paid for that, or probably
No,
not?
I like that on our 4th of July special, Tanner is doubling down on his distaste for ethnic food.
He's going full.
Just Mexican.
He's going full Norris.
Literally,
He
I
only
think-
has a problem with Mexican.
Hey, Thai
I
food,
understand.
A plus
and reggae
material,
music, and reggae
A
music.
plus.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going full Norris. We need somebody. All right.
Which I wouldn't have expected you to not like reggae, considering the dreads. I really, I would have expected you to like it.
I like the style. I don't like the music. It's like rockabilly.
You
I
only
love
like-
all the stuff that goes with it,
See,
but the
it's-
music is
he's
terrible.
digging
See,
a
it's
bigger
so
hole
weird because
at
you
this
smoke so
point.
much marijuana. Like, what do you listen to as you smoke all the time?
Lots of Patsy Cline.
Oh, okay.
That's
No,
just-
much like his appreciation of white Mexican food. He only listens to like Dirty Heads and Sublime. But real
I
reggae is
don't
too much for him.
practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball.
So Chuck Norris, you guys.
So we're into the background here. We got the director, Joseph Zito. Only 10 credits. believe
Yeah,
it or
but
not.
there's some good ones. In
Yeah,
that
but
10.
I can't understand what happened to him.
I am a Joseph Zito fan.
There is no reason why he stopped.
So wait, what are the 10 credits?
So we start 1975. His first movie was Abduction, which I don't think many people have seen. Also 1980. Now it's not the Blood Rage everybody knows from 1987, which we're going to do on this show. It's Blood Rage from 1980, which I've never heard of.
I've only seen the 87 one. I don't know that one.
It's he did it under a pseudonym.
My Zito love
Joseph
starts in 81.
Joseph Zito.
Joseph Bigwood. And this Blood Rage is apparently about a sexually frustrated guy who kills hookers. So
All right.
All right.
Original
completely
incel. All
different
right.
than the Thanksgiving themed Blood Rage from 1987.
The kind of quality you expect from Joseph Hungstrong? What was it?
Joseph Bigwood.
Bigwood.
Oh, Bigwood.
1981, he made The Prowler.
Hell yes. That's
19
that's one of my favorite slashers. That's a great movie.
1984, I think we all like this one. Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter.
A lot of people would
Oh,
argue that's
really?
the best of
Yeah.
the Jason movies.
Wait, which
Really?
one is that? I
You
never
that's
remember them.
part 4. It's the one with Corey Feldman in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where he shaves his head and comes
Yeah,
down the stairs
yeah,
and does
it's
the
probably
mind
my
games.
favorite.
Corey
okay.
Feldman
Yeah.
doing the masks and the costuming and stuff like that.
Arguably
think-
Corey Feldman's best movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Also
my favorite
has
Friday the 13th.
Crispin
too.
Glover in it.
Yes, that's right.
Getting a
Grindbin
corkscrew in the hand.
All-Star Crispin Glover from My Tutor.
It's true.
1984, he made Missing in Action, which is the other Chuck
yeah.
Norris movie from Canon that was before this one. 1985, this movie. All three of those movies, #1 in the box office.
Really?
Yes, so he's a big, successful guy. And then 1988, Red Scorpion.
Oh, yeah.
12 years later was when he directed his next movie.
Which was?
2000's Delta Force 1, The Lost Patrol. So some random direct-to-video
He did a
sequel
Delta Force
for-
prequel?
Yeah. And then 2003, a movie called Power Play. That's it.
A
He
hockey
disappeared. Yeah.
Interesting.
Disappeared for
And that
12
doesn't really
years.
happen. Like, usually a successful director keeps making movies because, like, you have the formula. We can trust you.
Don't-
Go ahead and keep going. But
movie. I gotta say, I kind of respect it when that happens, though. When
Pretty
someone's
well.
like, you know what? I made a pretty good chunk of change. I'm gonna go hang out on a boat for a while.
I can't find out what happened to him. Like, I thought, oh, maybe, something brought him away from... No.
I don't know. I mean, he's around. He's on the was it Crystal Lake Memories documentary, that like
Yeah.
7-hour Jason documentary.
Well-
he's in there talking about part 4.
well, the quote another superstar of the '80s: "Cocaine is a hell of a drug." So
That could have
that
been
may
it.
be
yeah.
where he was at.
So there's 2 writers on this movie. I'm sure we all know the second writer, but the first one is James Bruner, who is basically Chuck Norris's go-to guy. They wrote 1981's An Eye for an Eye, which is Chuck Norris, Christopher Lee, and Richard Roundtree.
Wow.
I have never seen this movie and never even heard of it.
Well, based on the cast, I'm gonna watch the shit out of it.
Yeah, I was like, huh.
I think I actually did just recently watch that. I think Midnight Pulp had it on. If it's the movie I'm thinking of, it's like a karate tournament movie.
It might be.
With Richard Roundtree?
Yeah, and he's
Shaft?
yeah.
Okay.
Well, interesting cast. Was it memorable?
I did
there?
not finish watching it, so no.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's a bad time.
1984, he wrote Missing in Action. 1986, he wrote The Delta Force. 1986, Behind Enemy Lines, which was a Norris movie, like just basically the same thing what he's been doing, but with David Carradine.
Okay. It's another one that like Norris turned down.
Yeah, I think so.
And so
1988, Braddock, Missing in Action 3.
Oh, I love
Why
that
you
one.
would just name it something different than Missing in Action 3,
Well,
I don't get.
Look at the First Blood series.
Yeah.
You just lay those out in front of somebody who's never seen those movies and tell them to put them in order.
Yeah, sure. Good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
Well,
Good point,
we all
yeah.
know the second one because it's First Blood Part 2,
Yeah. And then Rambo 3, which I
Rambo
guess is
3.
Rambo 2.
where Rambo helps the
Yeah.
Taliban. We've been through
Yeah.
that one. And then we just go back to Rambo. And now,
And I think the next one should just be called John.
yeah, John. Then just JR. Just break it down until it's just a picture of Stallone on a poster, no title. That's all you need. 1990, he wrote Delta Force 2, The Colombian Connection. In 1988, he wrote Silent Assassins, which is probably going to be in Blairvember this year because it stars Linda Blair and Sam
Yes.
Jones from Flash
Sam
Gordon.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
You mean Sam Jones?
Sam
Sam
Jones. The Sam Jones from Flash Gordon.
Sam Jones.
This is a callback to our which episode?
Which episode was that?
I don't know, but they were very upset that I had never seen Flash Gordon as a kid and didn't know.
We weren't upset that you hadn't seen it. We were upset that you weren't listening to us. Because you're like, the guy who played Flash Gordon, we're like, Sam Jones. And you're like, yeah, whoever played Flash Gordon, Sam Jones. We're talking about Sam Jones.
Sam Jones.
Yeah. Sam Jones is the guy who played Flash Gordon.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
you mean
yeah,
that guy?
that guy.
Yeah, you mean the guy from Silent Assassins? Oh, okay. I
Should have just said that.
Yeah. So the other writer is Chuck Norris. How much of
Didn't
this
he
he
have
wrote?
help from his brother?
Or is that his brother or is it his son?
I thought it was his
No,
brother.
his
Okay.
brother. So I don't know if you know, like Chuck Norris's last feature film in the movie theaters was Top Dog, which was
Yes.
directed by his brother,
Oh, okay.
Aaron Norris.
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron. Okay. Mike Norris is his son.
Which, if you've never seen Top Dog, go out and watch it. It is. You think it's going to be for children. It's rated PG-13. It's about Norris and a dog partner.
It's basically sidekicks, but the dog is fantasizing about Chuck Norris.
Yes,
yeah, pretty
but
much.
they
Been there.
they take down a group of white supremacists in San Diego.
Fantastic.
Him and a dog.
That must have been a really troubling thing for Chuck. It's like, it's like, yeah, I'm not sure who I side with on this one.
It is one of the only 2 movies filmed in Balboa Park. The other being Citizen Kane.
What a legacy.
That and Top Dog. So
Man.
I'm pretty sure Balboa Park denies field permits now. Like, no, we're good, everybody.
Yeah.
We're good.
They're like, after
We're
that-
capping it too.
after that Norris racist movie, we're done. No. So he's in the movie. We don't need to go through his background. Everybody knows Chuck Norris. But the other people, Grindbin All-Star, Richard Lynch from Night Force, Blair Vember
Fantastic.
#1, one of my favorite character actors. I'm
a
sure we
face.
all agree, great in this movie is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does a great job. Yeah.
Richard Lynch is always great on screen, and I'd say in a way he saves this movie because Norris has no charisma, and Richard Lynch is just giving
Norris
it
is
his
one
all.
of those
any
guys-
dialogue.
Yeah.
Like Chuck Norris is just kind of there reacting to
He's
people.
a Terminator. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, well, that's what makes Norris is you don't want him to talk a lot. You
Oh,
don't
no.
really. That's the anti-charisma. You know, it's one of those, like, he's so wooden and stiff that he comes off kind of badass because of it, when in reality he just sucks.
Now, the last person I'm going to mention, now this was a surprise to me. The lady who plays the reporter, okay, whose name McGuire.
Right.
Grindbin All-Star.
Yes.
Really?
Melissa Prophet was in Van Nuys Boulevard.
Huh.
I did not know that until I looked up her IMDb and saw that picture. I'm like, what?
Oh, I think she's going to appear again because I think there's another movie where I think she's the director or she's the writer that I'm like, oh, the bin is going to do this. But this is a terrible story because I don't remember what that movie is.
Well, probably, but here's the thing. She went on to be in Goodfellas and Casino.
Whoa.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa.
After she changed her name to Joe Pesci.
Yeah, and then she worked for Robert Evans as his
Oh, wow.
executive director of development, and now works for Paramount doing that.
Whoa,
so
seriously,
she
Working for
nice.
Bob Evans.
Yeah, she's the most successful
Man.
person in this movie.
Yeah.
And she's barely in it and just calls him cowboy the whole movie.
And
Until
she's
one scene
terrible.
when she refers to him by name, which we're going to get into. Did they have conversations off screen or
Well, if you read the official novelization of Invasion USA, you know their relationship is quite improved.
Have you tracked one of those down yet, Tanner?
No, I sent the eBay links, guys.
So Tanner did tell us
We'll check it
like
out.
Yeah,
2
check
days
it out.
before we recorded this that there is a novelization that came out
Official
of Invasion
novelization.
USA.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
for
like
children,
200
you know,
pages. It's
Yeah.
like you can get it when the Scholastic
It-
thing comes around at school. You can mark it down. You can get a copy
Nice.
of
It's
The
a picture
Giver in
book.
one of these.
That's dope. I used to watch the cartoon series, Invasion USA. Used to come on after Bionic 6.
Fuck yeah. And before Mr. T.
Exactly. Yep.
So here's the weirdest piece of trivia.
Again, all diverse cast.
Yep.
Do you know who Chuck Norris wanted to play the journalist?
Who?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes,
Huh.
that would have been amazing.
I can't picture that. Would she still have dressed like she's one of the Bangles?
I imagine her just going like, this character has no lines. Like, why would I do this movie?
Why would Whoopi
Well,
Goldberg just
because
keep
Chuck
calling
would have been
somebody
like,
cowboy?
you know, this
Yeah.
reporter, she should be a lot more sassy. I need like a sassy sidekick.
Yeah, but she turned it down and said, hell
Yeah.
no.
And she made Fatal Beauty
Yeah.
instead.
She was,
Sam
I'm
Elliott.
gonna go coach the Knicks and whatever
They
that.
team
I
up with
think-
the dinosaur.
Yeah, I think around this time she was doing that burglar movie. Have you ever seen that one? Great
love
line in that
Burglar.
movie when she says, "I'm going to shoot you right in the dick" to a guy, which is best part of that movie. Otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I learned a lot from that movie.
Care to elaborate?
We're just gonna leave
Yeah,
that there.
you can if you want, if there's a guard dog, sneak some like sleeping pills into a hunk of meat and like throw it to it, and they'll eat it and they'll fall asleep.
Wait, you know that's like human medicine. That will kill an actual dog, though.
Listen, she's a burglar and she needs to burgle.
Yeah.
She's got to get some burgling done.
Yeah.
Bobcat Goldthwait is her sidekick in that
Oh,
movie,
man.
and
See,
he's amazing.
You put some medicine in Bobcat, you throw him to the guard dog.
Yeah. And he's in full Bobcat mode.
Even he's getting bit, he's asleep.
Yeah.
So, guys, beginning of the movie, we open on a ship in the open ocean. We see it's basically people fleeing from Cuba.
And their Cuban refugees are talking to each other about hope and whether or not they're going to make it, and we all know where that's going.
Well, here's the first line of the movie.
That's like a
which-
cop on his last day showing you pictures of his kids.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no.
Well, the first line of the movie, I was like, is this a joke? Because it's a kid going, how much further is it to Florida? And I'm like, those fucking kids, you know, always in the back seat.
Are we there yet? I will turn this refugee raft around.
Exactly.
We can go back to Cuba if you're going to be the asshole about it.
They seem very desperate. The chances are looking grim. And then all of a sudden, a ship appears from the horizon. And there's an American flag. And they all jump up because they know America is that beacon of freedom.
Fuck yeah, U.S.A.
They're here. They're here to save us, guys. And then I know right away because I go, oh, no. That's Richard Lynch.
He's dressed
There's
like
no
Captain
way.
Stubing from the Love
Yeah.
Boat.
There's no way he's a good guy. Like, this is not ending good.
See, I didn't even know that was Richard Lynch. I live in California. I was like, oh, that's ice. You guys should not be cheering like that. That boat's not going anywhere near Florida.
So the USA boat pulls up, right? Which I guess is supposed to be like a Coast Guard boat
Yeah.
because everybody's in uniform and everything. And Richard Lynch in that great part when he just extends his hand out to the guy.
And he says,
says-
he says to them, he says, "Welcome to America," and everybody cheers. And we go in. It's an old pro wrestling move. He goes in for the handshake, and then boom!
Swerve.
yeah.
Suddenly, heel turn, shoots this guy right in the fucking head.
the old wrestling move where you shoot a guy in the head.
That's how Austin won
the
the
old
belt in
Texas
97.
tornado.
And so then they just open fire and kill everybody. And then they lead out some guy in a Panama hat from the Coast Guard boat. They're like, where is it? He opens like a board and there's all this cocaine in there. This is never going to be really followed up on.
And so,
or-
what we've established here in the first 30 seconds of this movie is that all the illegals trying to sneak into our country are drug runners.
Yeah. Although I could imagine in this time, if you did have a boat that somebody had, made that they're going to send a bunch of people, they probably be like, could you just put this in the boat for
I
us?
just need a favor. I got a couple of keys. I need to just bring it over.
Yeah. Like, well, if you're going already, maybe you could just fit this in. So yeah, they take the coke, and then we're gonna have one more scene about it. This movie's not about coke. No. It's not about drugs. It's not about any of this. So at this point,
Was it just to make this all morally ambiguous?
Oh, no, I figured
Was
that
it to
out.
make you like,
No, I figured that out, though, why they got the coke. So like later on in the movie, after this, we go to the scene where he's going into the apartment building, everything like that. My favorite scene, and he goes in there.
He's talking to
and,
Billy Drago.
Yeah, and he gives like the cocaine to the girl. The girl starts sniffing everything like that. They're making this deal, and then they cut to the guys like, is it there? And he's like in this warehouse, everything like that. So what I figured out was he was using the cocaine to buy the guns.
But
That's my theory. Anyway.
I
because that's how I
fully
tried to
believe
piece it
that.
together.
Yeah.
But I don't know why that is. Like, just it's not hard to get guns in America. It's
Like,
harder
well-
to get coke in America.
Well, this is America.
Like,
Well,
how are we
okay,
gonna
wait.
sneak guns into Gunland?
They did already have, and they also did already have a shitload of guns on that boat that they
Yeah.
stole from the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point too. Never mind, because that's what I was trying to justify. I was like, why did they? Oh, they're buying, but now I'm like, wait, but you already had guns. Why did you need more? Okay, and then you had boats. Okay, never mind. Take the track. I'll check my
This
home
is
there. I'm
just
sorry.
Another Mr. No Legs scheme.
So then we go to the title screen. That great little boom.
Yeah, we just a bunch of innocent people, children, just got ventilated, and then they just go, "You're watching Invasion USA."
You know how we followed that up? Watching Chuck Norris drive on a fan boat for about 5 minutes
Man,
over
an
credits.
open shirt Chuck driving a fan boat
Bobby-
with his mullet flapping in the freedom.
You know damn well that he has never bought a shirt with buttons on it. He
And if he
takes
does,
them
he
off.
removes them.
Yeah.
He's never on
He's
the
got a
shirt. That,
seam ripper. He just
I
he's
mean,
never on the shirt that wasn't made of blue jean as well. Which I noticed throughout this movie.
he's in a sweet Canadian tuxedo, nice and airy.
so he's riding around the bayou apparently. Well, okay, so is he supposed to? Where is he supposed to live? Is it Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, another
You're
movie.
watching a guy riding on a fan boat in the bayou. Where do you think he is?
Detroit.
Yeah,
Bobby and I had a whole episode where we just ripped on Florida for a good hour and a half.
That's a good one.
I should clarify. You ripped on Florida.
Well, I think it was you who said if we have any listeners that live in Florida, move.
Okay, I did say that. Yes, but
But he said that because of the hurricane.
yeah, I'm watching out for them.
It was concern.
Exactly.
Guys, we're back again. We're back in Florida again, and there's a lot of questionable choices that are happening here. I don't know how you feel about Florida, but so far in the grind bin, they're 0 for 2.
Wait, really?
Florida's not great.
They've not been depicted in a good light.
I mean, after this, they're also going to be 0 for 3, I think. They took a lot of damage in this movie.
Yeah, yeah.
So
yeah.
in my kid, like my, because I saw this as a kid in the theater, that fan boat I thought was the coolest thing in the world.
See, here it is.
Is that 'cause
then-
it's like a G.I. Joe vehicle?
And I had a knockoff GI Joe
Yeah.
vehicle that was a fan boat.
Knockoff
which I
G.I.
ju-
Joe? What, the core?
It wasn't even core. I
man.
think it was not Action Force because that was the UK GI Joe, but
Yeah.
it was like Action something. I remember I bought it at a grocery store,
Holy shit!
and I had that thing for years. And
you had a sub core ripoff.
Yep, and that thing was the main GI Joe vehicle, a fan boat, just like Chuck Norris and Invasion USA.
and you were just
So
going
pretty
around.
much that one GL Joe team was always just based in Florida then. Because with that fan boat, they could literally go nowhere else.
Yeah, they just
They couldn't
just
even
fought
go
the
that far into the
Dreadnoughts
ocean.
entire time.
They could go maybe a mile. I was like, okay, guys, get turn around.
This is choppy water.
FL Joe.
How much of an imprint did this movie put on your childhood? Were you walking around with your shirt undone and
Oh,
everything?
always.
And
And I thought Uzis were the greatest machine gun ever.
And you had to have 2 at all times.
Yeah.
You couldn't have 1.
To be fair, I thought that too as a kid. I had the little squirt gun that looked like an Uzi. This is before they put orange tips on all the toy guns.
Oh.
So it just looked like you had an actual Uzi and you're just walking around.
Yeah, between
squirting
Chuck
people.
Norris and Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, Uzis were like the shit in the
Yeah.
80s.
so the next thing we see is like the FBI at the port, and they're just apparently going, there's a boat full of dead people.
So, okay, so here, this is my thought. Who are the dead people?
I think they were the Navy.
They were the
Still
Coast Guard
classified-
guys, right?
It's a swerve because you
Yeah.
think it's going to be the boat full of Cubans, but
Yeah.
it's revealed that it's.
But it's all a bunch of dudes in their underwear. So
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's clearly
It
it's
is-
the Spaceball guards who got
Yeah.
knocked out and had their
Okay.
clothes stolen.
How did they? Here's my question: how did they kill them all? Because you have to think that, all right, you have this bunch of Navy officers or whatever, you would have to shoot them.
Yeah.
But if you shot them and took their clothes, all their clothes would have gun holes and
Right.
blood on them. So how did they kill them all
I
and
think
then
this
get
is
their
a good-
clothes?
I think it was a gas leak on the boat. They're very ingenious
Oh.
terrorists.
interesting.
Yeah. But okay,
The
why I
one
brought
time
up,
they
like-
chose to do it quietly.
Yeah.
Everything else is just like blow everything up.
Blow everything up. This one, gas them.
Well, it was off camera, so you don't need to blow anything up.
Yeah.
So the other thing, in the novelization, apparently it's a drug boat. Like it's all the guys.
If you read the extended universe
Yeah,
novels,
it's
you just
the-
need to-
supplemental
And if you watch
materials.
the cartoon,
Yeah.
they just hit them over the head with frying pans. Bang, bang, bang.
you watch
And they
season
just
4
get
of the Chuck
knocked
Wars.
Yeah. And all these kids coming out of the movie going, "No, Dad, you didn't read the book. Like it all makes sense.
Episode
You just read
5
it."
of Karate Commandos explained
Exactly.
this.
Exactly.
That's
The
like when
little
I saw
gymnast breaks everything
Transformers.
down.
When I saw
Wait,
Transformers in the
that's
theater, I had to explain to my mom who everyone was. And she's like, "Have you seen this already?" He's like, "No, it's the cartoon."
And she's like, Michael, I didn't ask.
The movie's
She's
on.
like, I do not care.
That's Galvatron. He used to be Megatron.
Tanner, watch the movie. Shut up. Okay, so this is when we introduce the reporter lady, who will just show up randomly when you need her to be in a scene.
Just to be
Otherwise, not really. She does. I didn't even know her name was McGuire until I read it in IMDb, and I'm like, is that her?
Yeah.
She's less effective than the one from Moving Target.
Oh yeah. So she just basically apparently got into the Coast Guard. Well, she got into the port before the FBI arrived, which apparently they've already called in the FBI and everything, and they got down there. And they're like, well, why'd you get here first? And this plot line will be totally dropped. It's just she just shows up everywhere. She's taking pictures.
And she never provides any information.
No.
She is just,
No.
for a couple scenes, someone for Chuck to talk to.
Yeah.
And
that's
to
about
be
it.
an annoying woman in a hyper-masculine movie. That's essentially it.
And
Pretty much,
some
yeah.
sort of love that's going to develop
Oh,
between
yeah.
them, but
No, but Chuck ain't got time for that.
it's off screen.
Chuck's
works
America
alone.
first.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Chuck and the audience. Nobody has time
Exactly.
for it. so-
America's Chuck's woman.
That's right. And Chuck's going to make sweet love to his woman.
Starting in Florida and just making his way north.
I think he's going to start with Florida and then change his mind.
You know, sometimes you gotta start with a foot rub and see where it goes. You know, it's
So this is when we cut to him just wrestling a gator. That's
For
it.
America.
Yeah. He's just got his shirt off now, so a little for the ladies, you know. And he puts it in a cage, and then that scene
Which,
just
by the
ends.
way, I was really surprised he did not die there. As someone who's watched, like, what is that, Swamp Hunters or wherever,
Yeah.
where they go and shoot gators and stuff like that.
a gator's no joke, man.
Exactly. They show you how you tie that. I was like, that is a weak knot. You cannot put him in there with that. He is going to get out of that knot. And sure enough, when he dropped him in the cage, gator got out the knot. That was a real reaction from Chuck. I was like, oh shit, I almost died.
Yeah, there was that snap
back to
that
Chuck
does to
Norris.
the side.
Exactly. He was like, no, back to the beer.
Johnny, you
I'm
jumped
Chuck
off the
Norris.
couch like I told you, Chuck.
Exactly. I was like, you can't mess with them gators, Chuck. You can't mess with them gators.
He talked him down with his matter of speech. Like, he even put the gator to sleep. He's just like, all right, I'm fine.
He's just a gator. Time to die.
And he's like, yeah. Just drifts off. We cut.
He told the gator a series of Chuck Norris jokes, and the gator pretended to sleep, so he stopped.
The next scene is probably one of the best scenes in the movie. Is Richard Lynch at a seedy hotel, so full of hookers and all sorts of bad stuff. I don't know if it's a hotel or an office building because there's apparently an office in a hotel room. I don't know, but he goes into this room and he's like got the coke and he's doing some deal with this guy. By the way,
Yeah,
this
he's
guy.
talking to Billy Drago, who looks like a young Ethan Hawke. And,
I always think he looks like... never mind. I forget the two actors. I had it in my head, but I've forgotten.
No, when I saw him here with the slick back hair and everything like that, I was like, is that Christian Bale from American Psycho?
Yeah, he definitely has a
immediately what I
Bateman
thought.
look to him, and his lead guard looks dead on like Franco Nero.
Yeah, but what I loved is this dude gave it his all, man. Like his 2 minutes of screen time, very memorable.
Oh, definitely.
We
so.
didn't talk about him in the pre-show section where we were talking about the cast, but Billy Drago's in like 6 Chuck Norris movies.
Really?
Yeah, Chuck kept putting him in stuff, just in little roles like this. Like he just I got a spot for you. If I have a job, you have a job.
He
There
has
it
a
is.
great look. Like, he looks like a bad guy.
He makes a great henchman. He makes a great guy for a scene like this. So what happens at a scene like this?
So he brings in the coke. The assistant lady. So there's like a lady assistant there.
Yeah.
That's she's
gonna
gonna
test
test the material, you know.
Pulls out a nice little straw. She starts preparing a couple rails.
I don't know really what the point of all of this is. It's like it happens so fast. Well,
We need to know that our villain is a little off the handle.
Well-
He's unpredictable.
so the guy who's buying the coke, when he goes up to Richard Lynch, he does this really weird thing where he like approaches them and like gets them in a corner, and he starts talking to him like, "Hey, we got a deal and all this," and it seems really uncomfortable. And we're like, "All right, where's this going?"
Little three's all right with me.
And then Richard Lynch just
So yeah, let's go through it because when shit goes from 0 to 100 real quick, he as the lady's going to take a line of coke, he does the, as you mentioned before the show, Johnny. He does the old Dark Knight
Magic trick.
He slams her head down, which jams the straw into her face, and she jumps up screaming. From there, he grabs the gun from Billy Drago. He shoots the guards in the hallway, shoots Billy in the dick, and
Twice.
then throws the screaming woman out the window.
Yeah.
So we have
Great scene, by the way. It all happens so fast. You're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
We have ventilation, castration, then defenestration. One right after the other.
And as you said, Johnny, you mentioned it earlier, there's like some part where he's on the phone. It said everything's here. We assume it's more
like guns because they cut to the guy he's talking to, and it looks like he's surrounded by like guns and equipment and everything like that.
Is Miko? Is that the second in command of the terrorists?
So here's the
Miko?
question. Why didn't you just let the deal go through? If he doesn't need the coke or any stuff, like what is the whole point
Maybe
of killing
he does
everybody?
need the coke.
Because the Joker is an agent of chaos, Mike.
There it is. There it is.
So he just
But I
exits
will
the
say,
office.
it does establish him as pretty much of a badass, though.
Yeah.
Because beforehand, like when he kills the people on the boat, there is just kind of like, all right, I'm a leader. I'm just going to kill you. I'm merciless or whatever. But here, established like, okay, he's got hands. He can hold himself. He can take out a room full of people by himself.
Yeah.
It kind of gives him a little more badass credo. That was like, okay,
True.
this dude's a legit threat. And not only that, but once you shoot somebody in the dick, you don't want to fuck with somebody that shoot people in the dick.
Like, who
you
does
just shoot
this?
me in the arm, shoot me in the leg. You shoot people in the dick. Oh no, we don't.
I'm
fuck
willing
with
to
him.
lose a fight by getting shot in the arm. I'm not willing to lose a fight by having my dick shot off.
It's like that scene in the
Mike, I
Purge.
told you it wasn't worth it. I told you it wasn't worth it. You're right, it wasn't worth it. My dick
I
it
needed
hurts.
my dick.
That's what you'd say if you got shot in the dick. My dick, it hurts.
Why didn't someone tell me my dick would hurt like this?
Oh man, I talked up my dick way too much. It's not strong.
So this all ends with just everybody leaving, and then the one guy at the front desk comes in and just takes the coke and goes, "Yeah."
I like that. That's good.
Best guy in the movie.
Oh my! Oh, I love how he's like, oh, he's gonna call the police. Oh, he's shocked by this. He's like, fuck this. Grabs the coat and leaves.
He
Retirement
knows what type of
fund.
place he's running. He's like, "Oh,
he does.
yeah."
This is a regular Tuesday for him. He's like, ah, shit again.
He's like, I'm gonna go get a fan boat.
So then we got a Norris and his old friend. His old friend we're going to care about so much.
John
guys.
Eagles.
John Eagle.
Just another shirtless guy.
Of course, that's how they do it down there.
They're trying to sell this gator, and they're doing something like some sort of negotiation, like he's not big enough or something. Who cares? They're trying to sell this thing. It all ends with nothing about him. Something about him going, you're like making too much money, and you're
He's-
ripping off Social
he's-
Security.
Well, he's skimming.
Yeah.
No.
Is the problem.
He's
Like, there's a
not
line where he
yeah.
says, what's the government going to do when they find out you've been skimming?
I'm like, you assume this guy's going to pay taxes on a cash gator
Well, that's the
transaction?
thing is, Chuck
Like,
Norris is such a white hat that, like, to his best friend, he's like, you can't lie to the government, bud. Come
yeah,
on,
and this guy's looking at me,
Eagles.
he's like, Chuck, you been paying taxes on the gator sales?
well, yeah.
This is cash, man. What are you doing?
John Eagles
He's
is
like,
trying to explain to him
where's the
that
fucking
taxation is
bank?
theft. And he's just like,
Chuck Norris like, no, don't you understand? These taxes go to fix our roads.
Yeah.
These taxes go to our schools.
It's like, you
When
filled out a
take
W-2,
taxes,
right?
You take money out of America's pocket.
Eagles, look, I know as a Native American you feel like you've been wronged, but that was a long time ago, all right?
And I know we don't have roads here in the bayou.
Okay,
so-
we have to say these guys literally live like in the swamp.
Yeah.
Like there's like a house floating in the swamp, basically. There's like what? Where's the Bank of America? You know what I mean? Like where are they going?
No, the favorite part of the scene is at the end of it when he asked, we invited Chuck over for dinner that night. It's like, come over for dinner? We got frogs. And then Chuck's like, I hate frogs. And I'm just like, why the fuck do you live in Florida then? It's like he's this retired special agent or
Masochist.
whatever. You can go live anywhere in all of the United States, and you chose Florida in
Actually-
the middle of the swamp? It was like, why? Are you punishing yourself? Is this your purgatory? Why would you choose to live here if you don't even like living here?
You know, maybe he was just the whole time was like undercover for the IRS trying to get selling gators. He's like, look, man,
John
I like
Eagle,
you.
I have to tell you, I have to bring you in.
Yeah,
This is
hard on me too, John.
This is Bayou Point Break.
Yeah, it is. It's totally Bayou Point Break. It got too personal.
He's
And now
gonna,
he's
let
like,
him,
look,
he's gonna let him do one last ride on the fan boat. He takes him in.
he keeps leaving W-2s for him around his house and everything. He's like, come on, man, just please do
Meet
it
me
right.
halfway.
Come on, you can do it.
Actually,
Come
to your
on.
question of where's the Bank of America, that's what the Gator was about. That's where they keep money there. That was actually a Bayou bank robbery.
I thought they kept it in an armadillo. I thought it was like a real piggy bank.
Okay,
It's
so
all right. Lift up the shell.
I
Right,
can't even.
scamper off.
I can't even wait till we get to the armadillo.
The armadillo's amazing.
Oh my god. So okay, we cut to it's night now on the bayou, and there's like some sort of guy, which I thought was some guy from the IRS or Social Security, just rowed his boat down the bayou, and I was like, oh, they got him, man. Chuck was right. Like,
Tried to warn his buddy.
Eagles is getting audited.
like, goddamn. So there's this
They'll
guy.
find you.
My favorite part about this though is that the guy who's rowing the boat is rowing the boat the wrong way. It's like when you row a boat, you're supposed to have your back to it and you row that way.
Yeah,
and that puts
you put your
forward.
body
But
into
he
it.
was facing frontward and still going forward. I was like, that's not how you row a boat at all. What are you doing?
To be fair, I mean, I fucked that up at the gym too. Sitting the wrong way on the rower. I'm like, I don't know what this is working. What muscle group is this supposed to do?
So he just shows up in some swamp house, right? It's the middle of the night. He like knocks on the door, nobody answers. So he just breaks in, and then Chuck Norris sneaks up behind him, and he's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna do it."
Oh, he goes, we're not interested.
And it's like, what the fuck? Oh, well, that's when you see the armadillo. There's an armadillo in the house where you just assume that it's like,
That's Chuck's Quasimodo.
yeah, it's apparently his pet, like Bronson, yes, with Quasimodo. Evil That Men Do. Check out that episode. He has a pet armadillo, which my first reaction was, I wonder if he's going to get leprosy. Because we all know that armadillos carry the disease.
Wait, they do?
I didn't know this.
Yes,
I did not know that.
Man.
armadillos carry leprosy.
2 out of 4
Don't touch.
podcasters agree.
So I was thinking at one point maybe Chuck's arm was going to just fall off or
And
something.
he replaced it with an Uzi.
No, while it was shooting the Uzi, it just...
It's still shooting.
Wait, is that the reason why Chuck Norris doesn't make movies anymore? He got leprosy from this armadillo?
Yeah, too many armadillos.
Like right now, we haven't seen Chuck Norris in years in his house. He has like one arm. It's like, oh God, why did I pet that armadillo?
It's like the grayscale. He's just
Exactly.
he's turning into an armadillo. He's getting all armored.
And so basically we find out he's a special agent. They're like, we need you for one more job. Of course they do.
That old chestnut.
And of course, he goes, well, I work alone. Of course he does, right? He's a one-man army, this guy. And all we're supposed to know is, like, we know he's going after Richard Lynch, but at the same time, they're not really describing it. They're just like, yeah, you know that bad guy? And he's like, yeah, I got it. No problem.
Wait, we skipped a part though. Because remember, so he asked him to do the job. He says no, but then he turns the light on and goes outside. I was like, wait, why are you turning the light on for him? Are you supposed to be kicking this guy out your house? And then later on, we cut to our favorite scene, which is what you call in the bed. You gonna go upstairs? When he wakes up, it's
We
like,
got
did you
the
have the
flashback.
nightmare again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's
Home
next.
again?
That's where I was going.
Yeah, the next scene is...
From here, we cut to.
We
Exactly,
think... Okay,
yeah.
so we think he's, like, on a mission at this point. Because we just see an embassy, and, like, Richard Lynch...
Richard Lynch is sneaking around like he's Agent 47.
Exactly.
Yes, he's sneaking around. It's Hitman.
We're doing Hitman.
Yeah.
Like, he's just in the bushes and he's setting up his bazooka and
He
everything.
sees that target. He's going to get a disguise.
and then suddenly a gun goes to his head.
And by the way, this mission is in the freaking like in Africa. Like he's in the Congo. Like all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I was like, where did we go? Where are we now?
Yeah. We're suddenly in like the opening scene of Raiders of Atlantis.
Exactly.
Oh, this is incredible, too, because...
I was like, is this Wakanda? Are we Wakanda? Is he after T'Challa?
Every weapon that Richard Lynch uses is a rocket launcher. Even here. So he's going to assassinate a guy. He's going to do it quietly because he's sneaking through bushes. Fuck that shit. He pulls out a fucking rocket launcher and then he looks at this guy.
I wish that they'd show him screwing on a big silencer.
to the rocket launcher.
And all you hear is like,
And then there's this weird scene where he points the rocket launcher and he's going to kill everybody. And yeah, everybody's like a PIF helmet and all this stuff. We don't know where we are.
we get some big game hunter. Like,
And then he has like a moment of hesitation. And then he just puts it back up. The gun goes to his head. It's Chuck
we
Norris.
got like a desert eagle pressed against his head.
Yeah.
And we pan back, and that's where Chuck says the line.
It's time to die.
And then Richard Lynch wakes up in a cold sweat. Because apparently he's been having nightmares about Chuck Norris killing him.
Yeah, and here's the part that disturbed me is the other guys come into the room. So this guy Zito, who I didn't know his name was Zito until later when somebody says,
No, it's
something
Nico.
about him. It's Nico.
Zito's
Okay.
the director.
Okay, Nico, yes. And I didn't know he had a name until, spoiler, he dies in very uneventful fashion. And somebody goes, he got Nico. I'm like, who?
Not Nico.
What are they talking about?
Everyone needed a moment for Nico.
Case.
So here's the thing.
Three
that-
henchmen on the bed just stare at each other. Who the fuck was Nico? I
Here's
have no idea.
here's the thing that
You were
disturbed me.
Nico.
Richard
Well, I am
Lynch
now.
wakes up in this cold sweat, and he's like huffing and everything. And Nico walks in and he goes, "Was it the nightmare again?"
No, he's like, is the dream again?
Yeah,
Did
so
you
I'm
have
like-
the dream again? He's like, no, the nightmare.
So I'm just sitting there thinking, like, so Richard Lynch as a a gang boss is telling all his underlings about his nightmares.
I
He's
keep
like,
having
"Yeah."
these bad dreams about Chuck Norris, and it's only sexual like half the time.
And it's like you said, we set him up as a badass in the scene before. Now I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of rethinking this
He's
now.
he's literally dreaming about Chuck Norris killing him.
May I interject with more information from the novelization?
Oh, here we go. Back to the animated series. Go ahead, Mikey.
Nico is a psychologist.
Before you do though, I wanted Nico to I wanted him to insist that Nico checks the closet.
Look under the bed.
He's
and
like,
all.
"Look, there's no one here, boss."
You have to read him light a candle. As long as this candle is lit, Chuck Norris can't hurt you.
See, this is turning into just a Chuck Norris joke. So
So in the novelization, there's a little bit more to this, where Chuck carves an H into Rostov's wrist.
this is like Red Dwarf.
Yeah, H for hunter.
Oh.
So every time Rostov looks at his watch, he sees an H.
You mean
and he
kind of like
knows.
when Batman was carving little bats into people so that when they get to prison they get killed?
Sure.
Or in what you call it, Inglourious Bastards, when they cross the.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tarantino's a hack.
There it is.
Easy way to solve that, Tanner. Just move your watch to the other wrist.
Just wear long sleeve shirts.
Yeah,
Pretty much,
exactly.
yeah.
Rostov, quit being a baby about it.
Treat it like you're covering up tattoos for work.
I mean,
Yeah.
if anything, you should be relieved because Chuck Norris is a liar. Time to die. Oh, no, I just kind of gave you a tattoo and some scarring. Oh, okay. This is
Does this
worse.
H look tough? Do you look tough now, Rostov?
So then they just keep talking about Norris for a while. Like, for a while.
Oh, this is some John Wick shit. Like we're
Yeah.
doing like something. Chuck Norris is the Baba Yaga. Like it's really exactly the same.
No, seriously.
Actually, this movie is very similar plot-wise to John Wick. We'll get to that in
Yeah.
a moment.
And then he says, and then what's crazy is he says that we can't do the job until we make sure that Chuck Norris is dead.
Because if he gets on, if he goes up against us, we're fucked.
Exactly.
Basically, it's like
He's the only one who can stop
and
us.
this is when Nico's like, man, we're never going to achieve anything without, he's got to get over this Norris thing.
man.
I honestly,
You
Nico
gotta
is
let
a
it go
very
and start
good
dating
friend.
somebody else.
For a terrorist, Nico is a very supportive friend, and he's a good number two.
You know,
Exactly. He listens to him,
Yep.
listens to his dreams. They go and get lunch. They talk about their problems.
They do.
They
They
say-
have a really strong
terrorist
male
lunch scene.
friendship.
They
That-
do. They do.
you know,
they
you-
speak on a regular basis. He calls in. How did the coke deal go?
Yep.
Did you shoot him in the dick yet? Okay, take your
I
time.
know you like dick shots.
Okay, Nico, make sure you get a good night's sleep. We don't want you having the nightmare again.
you know,
right?
even bad men have friends. That's just
There it is.
everybody needs somebody.
So then we go to Norris at home. He's sawing logs. Now this is the next day, right? And then an army of
To be clear, you
fanboats-
mean sleeping.
No.
He's not literally sawing logs.
No, he is
Yeah,
literally,
he is
sawing
literally sawing
logs.
logs.
Yeah.
And then this is maybe one of my favorite shots of the movie is an army of fan boats.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the armadillo.
Oh, well, the armadillo's there.
It was hilarious because like the armadillo's there. He's like sawing the logs, and everything like that. The armadillo has a dog bowl like full of milk, and then armadillo comes over and looks at Chuck, and then knocks over the fucking bowl, which was hilarious to me because I was like, "Oh, the armadillo must be vegan." He's like, "Fuck you! I need soy milk, you bastard!" And I was like, "Wow, the
Armadillo.
armadillo
Give you
gives
leprosy,
no fuck.
Chuck.
Armadillo's like, I hate frogs.
And then going to your point, the army of fanboys starts coming in.
How wonderful is that, though? All these guys, so all the terrorists are riding up in their fan boats, they either bought or rented.
Seen some Flight of the Valkyries.
I wanted to see the
Yes.
rental scene where they're like, "Can we get them all in the same color?" And like we all coordinate because they all come up coordinated and like everybody's riding in the same. They all got the same outfits on. They're all doing the same pose in the front of the boat and everything. The choreographing, like they had to have practiced it a few times because that's how great it was. It's like 6 fan boats coming up. Everybody's got the one guy in the front and everything. They roll up to his house, right? All quiet in their fan boats.
Very quiet, stealthy vehicles, fan boats.
I mean, it's the only thing quieter would be if they rode in on a lawnmower.
And Chuck is using a chainsaw, so apparently that covers up the sound of 6 fan boats rolling
But-
up on your property.
But again, the armadillo hears it and runs for safety.
Yeah,
his
he's-
armadillo's like Lassie, but he don't give a fuck about you. He knows danger's
Well-
coming, but fuck you, you're on your own.
yeah, he gave him
you-
that milk. So
Exactly.
You just pitched a TV show that I would greenlight. All right, Lassie, but he don't give a fuck about you. Oh, I like this.
Lassie, where's Timmy? Art, what does that mean? I don't give a fuck. You're the fucking worst, Lassie. I know it. No, where's my
I know it
food?
ain't my fucking kid.
Why don't you have a real fucking babysitter? I'm a goddamn dog.
I've licked myself twice already.
If you don't find him yourself, I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. Damn it, Lassie.
So they roll up on the house with the fan boat. And it's not quiet. They just literally blow it the fuck up. But, oh my God,
Well, John Eagles catches him.
our guy, our tax evader, John Eagle, shows up. And guys, we've grown to love him over the 2 minutes that we've seen him on screen. All of a sudden, he pulls out a shotgun.
Which, by the way, when I saw this, I was like, wait, why is he riding around on a fan boat with a shotgun? Oh, wait, it's Florida. Never mind.
There's like 25 reasons you need one.
It'd be weirder if he didn't have a shotgun on that fan boat.
That only means someone took his shotgun.
I'm surprised they have bath salts as well. But anyway, this was the 80s. They just had bath salts yet.
So they take him out. He's dead.
Yeah, like he actually he manages to shout and warn Chuck.
Yeah.
That they're coming. He wakes up.
We should say
from
Chuck
his
went
trance.
inside. They snuck up to the house in 6 fan boats, waited there. Again, there's no trees or anything. It's just like water, right? And
Yeah.
apparently he didn't see this army of fan boats.
Nope.
He walks inside. They wait for him to get inside. And then John Eagle has to ruin it for him
This is
by
important.
warning him.
John Eagles saved America
Yeah.
just by yelling out Chuck's name and taking out 3 of these dudes before he went down.
So they blow up the house, like Richard Lynch, again, with his rocket launcher style, blows up the house.
Chuck manages to dive into the bayou right before it happens. This is like Swamp Thing. Like they blew up this. I thought Chuck was going to come out as a creature of the swamp.
Oh, what if this was like the prequel to Swamp Thing? The remake. Oh, man. Oh, I want to see that movie now.
Man.
Swamp Thing starts terrorists.
Alec
and goes around
Holland
saving
wasn't the
Florida.
first.
Exactly. Getting bombs off school buses and shit. Oh, man. I want to see this now. Swamp Thing. Oh,
Swamp
that'd
Thing
be
in a
so-
pickup truck.
Yes, just driving around. Swamp Thing driving through the
Oh,
ghetto.
God.
My daughter's like, you don't belong here, Swamp Thing. I don't belong anywhere.
I'm a monster. A monster.
This is leave my swamp. Like, dude, you're not even in the swamp right now.
It's all my swamp.
So they blow up Norris' house. He dives out. The armadillo, we see him clearly get out.
Yes.
So we can all
People
say...
would have been pissed if they killed the armadillo.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
This is like Ms. 45. We didn't realize the dog lived.
Exactly. The dog
Like
lives.
Independence Day, when the dog survives the alien blast.
And by the way, for me, this told me these were the worst terrorists ever. I'm sorry, the moment I would have seen the armadillo come over like, hey, boss, the armadillo lived. I think we missed him. If the bomb didn't kill the armadillo boss, I think we... Wait, boss,
Yeah.
why are we leaving? He's clearly alive. The
Yeah.
armadillo's right there.
They
The
shoulda had-
fucking armadillo's laughing at us. Why is he drinking soy milk? Boss, turn around.
And Nico's like, we have to return the fan boat by 3
Yeah.
o'clock. We're going to get late charges.
We have a deposit. We need it back.
We should have had where they see the armadillo still alive and they just look down at their bazookas. Like, man, what the hell is this?
Yeah, because they don't check shit, man. They just turn around and the fan boats go. Like you said, the rentals do.
Yeah. They look over at Nico like, you had a coupon.
Yeah. So Norris is fine. Everything's fine. But then we watch him, like, put John Eagle to rest and give him a
Yeah,
Star Wars funeral?
He lays him on a mattress in the rubble of his home. And you wonder how patriotic this movie is? The entire linchpin of this movie going off is Chuck Norris is mourning the loss of a man named Eagle. He's just like, that's America.
Well,
That's fun.
Bobby, he didn't pay his taxes. So
It's,
he's got to go.
it's like
you
any
know?
good slasher movie where a victim has to be guilty of something
Yeah.
to justify the death.
See,
He
that's
was a
why
tax
John
evader.
Eagles doesn't get a proper Christian funeral
Yep.
because he
True,
evaded
this is
his
true.
taxes.
He has
This
to
is
pay
true.
for his sin.
But
Yeah,
but this scene brought up like so many questions for me. First off, we remember the house just got blown up. Chuck then puts lighter fluid on him and sets him on fire, and the house begins to burn again. I was like, it just burned down. How does it burn twice, Chuck? How does it burn twice?
Give your
It
house
literally
a
just
rest.
burned
It's been
down.
through enough already.
And here's where I saw the parallels, because basically, if we're looking at this as a John Wick movie, Eagles was his dog.
oh.
Because that's when Chuck decides he's got to be the Baba Yaga again. He's got to put on his denim unbuttoned shirt. He's got to grab his smoothies.
I love how John Eagles his dog and not the armadillo.
No.
Like if the armadillo died, he'd be like,
The
fuck
armadillo
him.
was
By
just
the way,
passing
Exactly.
through.
He was an asshole.
He had no
By the way,
part-
we'll never see that armadillo again.
No,
He's
the
gone.
armadillo got the
'Cause-
fuck out.
yeah,
the
and I mean,
armadillo realized what was going on.
He's the
Was like,
smartest character in this movie. The armadillo's
Exactly.
like, I'm good.
We need
Like
like,
I was literally watching the end credits. I wanted it to be the end credits to be the armadillo on his own boat, just driving through the bayou, just going away from Florida.
That's
Oh.
the teaser.
he's got a little mini fan
Yeah.
boat.
He's it's like life is a highway. I'll ride it all night.
It's a literal fan.
It's a fan from
It's
Chuck's
a rotating
house.
fan, so he's going back and
It's
forth.
like a trash can lid upside down with a desk fan on it.
Oh my
He's just
God.
going across the
Oh
made
my
of, like,
God,
the
this could be a
littles.
Saturday morning cartoon.
I'd watch the
Pictures
shit
of
out of that.
Armadillo in the bayou. But then my other
Armadillo
question
USA.
was, so then he takes his friend's boat and pretty much takes at that point
Yeah.
and goes and takes his business as well. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't tell his family, doesn't call children, brothers,
Nope.
anybody. He's like, I'm going to set you on fire. We're done. Goodbye.
Yeah.
I did like the continuity of, as you see, like he's got the new fan boat or Eagles fan boat, and he goes to Eagles restaurant. You see the flames from his house or the smoke from his
Yeah.
house, like in the distance. I was like, that is a shockingly good bit of continuity.
Yeah.
in
And
this kind
an
of movie.
expensive shot because there's a real fire going on somewhere off screen.
5 miles in the bayou
And just
in the
think,
background.
like, if they had to do more than one take or like with the whole situation, like this is
Do you
a
think they
$1 million
just
shot.
set the old house on fire?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And just let
Like
it
everything
burn?
else in
Yes.
this movie, I think
Oh,
they
yes.
just burned actual houses for this.
It's
And
And I
canon.
like the
then-
idea that he didn't give him a funeral or know of his family. He was just like, he never bothered to ask if Eagles had a family, but he's just like, John Eagles was very mysterious. He's like, well, Eagles,
Well,
I'm
Chuck
just going to lay you to
Look,
rest right here.
Chuck, he went to Miami University. He was top of his class. He knew people, Chuck. Should you tell them? Nope, he was a mysterious man. There's a diploma and family photos on the walls. No one knew where he came from.
You know he was a state senator, right?
Family photos that survived the initial explosion that you then set on fire.
And then I love that shot too, is that the house is like buried in the background. You know there was a production assistant like, sir, should we get permits? Like, no, son, this is why you film in Florida.
water. It's
Surrounded by water.
It's going out. Come on.
You
Florida has
can't burn down a swamp. It's
I see
water.
Golden Globes going, rap. No,
Yeah.
check the gate. Go. Go.
Should we put out
Put it
that
in the
fire?
truck.
We got to get to the next scene.
We got these rentals are due by 3. You know? Come on.
Vico directed and acted in the film.
So Norris felt entitled to this truck because it was bought without paying taxes. So he goes, well, I'm a government agent, so I'm going to take John
Exactly.
Eagle's truck, you know,
Makes
just
sense, makes
bring
sense.
it back. It's his actual final contribution. So he made right, okay, because he donated his truck.
Yeah.
So it's all
Chuck
good.
isn't even going to report the late John Eagle as a tax evader. He's done enough.
Yeah.
And that
He's
weighed
letting
on his conscience
yeah.
for years to come.
He's letting his family off the hook, you know. It's all good.
In local news today, local senator John Eagle has disappeared without a trace. If anyone has seen him, please call.
State senator. I love this idea. Just a shirtless picture of a state senator.
Riding around the swamp with a shotgun in his lap. But again, in Florida, this could be a real thing.
Yeah. And so then he just drives off in the truck. We're never going back here.
Nope.
Like, this is all done, right?
Rap on the bayou.
Yep.
There's nothing left here but bodies.
Okay, so
Bodies in an armadillo.
now we go to a terrorist
Can we
lunch.
take a moment of silence for the armadillo who we no longer see again?
Okay,
That's good.
only if he had this armadillo as a little sidekick throughout the whole movie. I wanted him
Oh,
on the
it's like the
dashboard
monkey?
while he's driving with the truck, like the monkey with Clint Eastwood.
No,
Orangutan.
I'm talking about,
Orangutan.
No, I'm talking about.
Oh,
was
sorry.
It Night Force?
Yes, how Richard Lynch had a monkey who was a pin.
Pin the monkey.
The armadillo probably would have more effect than the reporter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like that whole scene where it was like, grab the girl.
Actually, I would have
Damn
preferred
it,
the
you're
armadillo
useless.
as the reporter.
Oh!
Got a little press hat.
Yes, and wore glasses, everything like that. He
Little
goes
pen,
up to the
pen.
party in the Latino neighborhood.
It's Clark Kent.
Why is that armadillo wearing a skirted wig?
Just comes rolling into the scene like a basketball.
The idea of a terrorist
He
having
just,
the
he just
gun on all
unrolls.
about
He's
their
got a little
shirt
pad
on.
of paper. He's looking around. That's part of that Saturday morning cartoon we were talking
There
about.
it is. There it is. It writes itself.
Armadillo USA.
So then we cut to the terrorist luncheon. Okay, so Richard Lynch and Nico are talking about their problems over a hot dog lunch. And
The terrorist barbecue.
Yes. If this is what cracked me up about this scene, so he's sitting there. They're talking about their whole plan of what they're
Yeah.
going to do, how they're going to terrorize America. And I'm like, you guys both speak a different language. Why are you saying this in English in broad public? Why are you doing this?
they're in Florida. So
Oh, they're-
nobody cares.
Okay, good point.
They're in Florida. They're at a barbecue place, and Richard Lynch is going on and on about how soft Americans are as he's buying the most American meal. Like, he's sitting there. I wanted at the end of that line for him to just take a bite of the hot dog while he's going like, this country's so fucking soft. Just bites right into it.
But then spit it out and be like, ugh, Americans.
But I will give the movie credit though, because when I was watching it, I was like, this movie actually does have plot points.
Yep.
Up until about this point.
Oh yeah, we're almost there when it just goes into you know what? Let's wrap it up. By 30 minutes, they're like, let's get this going, huh? So then the next thing we see is 2 crazy kids doing a little night swimming in Florida, right? This part.
This is very much. This is where you see that Zito goes on to do the Prowler and Friday the 13th 4, because we got 2 young people trying to knock one out by the water.
Okay, not quietly, by the way, because they've
No.
brought a fucking TV.
Yeah.
Why is there a TV playing like Johnny Carson on this beach towel?
Because
This added
this guy
nothing.
can't get it up unless Phyllis Diller's on.
Yes, it is. Yeah. But by the way, I will say this: that Phyllis Diller bit did have me rolling a little bit though. Her
great.
one joke, I was like, "Hey, she delivers." That was a good line.
You're like, Phyllis.
I was like, "She's the comedic sidekick we needed for this
And
movie."
to your point,
what if
She got
Phyllis
to
Diller was
voice
like
the
that?
armadillo.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
Syphadillo.
Oh my god! Syphadillo!
my dad caught Syphadillo. That's why mom left it.
You know the only way to get rid of it, right? Have someone shoot your dick.
But yeah, to your point though, Johnny, at the end of this scene, the person who's still watching the TV does take a moment to just kind of appreciate Phyllis Diller's comedic styling.
Well, so what happens is they're doing a little. They're not skinny dipping. They're just going for a night swim.
They're in their skivvies.
They're,
Yeah.
They're
it
skivvy
was the
dipping.
commercial break. They're waiting for Diller to come back on.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a big ass flare that goes in the sky, and the guy's like, "The fuck was that?" And she goes, "It's nothing."
Don't worry about it.
It's fucking Florida.
Florida. Yeah. People setting off illegal fireworks every damn night in Florida.
Exactly. There's a flare. There's a house on fire. Look, there's an armadillo. It's where we live.
And so they go back to the towel, and then Nico just shows up.
And we're doing Jason shots here because we're just showing legs, just a man's legs walking up, and he gets to them and he kills them both.
Yeah.
Just shoots them right in the face,
And then he
and then takes a minute to appreciate Phyllis Diller.
Which is so bizarre, that scene where he just watches Phyllis
And he
Diller do
smiles a
these
little.
jokes. Yeah, he smiles. And then all of a sudden, I guess the Coast Guard doesn't exist, or like nobody cares. Again, it's Florida, so
'Cause
maybe
now
it's a little
suddenly it's
lax.
I
Normandy.
think this is what we're going to be
Yeah,
using for the rest of
exactly.
this. This is used for the rest of this episode. What? Why did that happen? Oh wait, it's Florida.
Yeah.
Because
Florida's the only place where you can have U-boats touch down. Like,
it is. It's
and
like
no one cares.
It is basically the beaches of Normandy. Is these guys just storm
Yes!
out?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Like
they're
Tom
like,
Hanks ran by.
all these guys, these soldiers are coming on the beach. Nobody cares. They're just, fuck it, cut.
It's really weird because presumably these boats either came from a larger ship somewhere off the coast of Florida again, so like where's the Coast Guard, where's the Navy, or they came over from Cuba. So
what you're saying is this is all
Presumably-
planned by Castro.
right, so therefore it'd have the backing of the Cuban government.
No.
So why the refugee drug smuggling at the beginning
Tanner.
if it's all like one?
No, this part's
One
unrelated.
conspiracy.
These were the people from Atlantis.
Oh,
This
And
is the beach in Miami. This is all happening at the same time.
As
So-
we know, like Atlantis was a like an ethnically diverse continent. That's why we have the Chinese boat or the Asian boat.
okay.
Then we have
Yeah.
a like South American boat.
Yeah, and
There
then
we-
not only that though, but it would make sense why they would invade land, because they want to be where the people are.
It's true.
They want
So
to see
then
us
it-
walking around and what do you call them? Feet. I've made that joke once 15 years ago, and now it's my go-to joke whenever Little Mermaid comes
Where
up.
was John Eagle's house and why did it? What's the word? Burn.
So then it turns into Maximum Overdrive because all these guys
what?
get into just like these semi trucks, and there's just army
speaking
of semi trucks.
inconspicuous shit that somehow is okay in Florida. You parked 35 trucks
Yes,
in vans
it looked
at the beach.
It looked like
You know?
Maximum Overdrive, like it's a giant convoy.
Like they're all lined up like Evil Knievel's gonna jump in. Yes. You know, and like all the lights just turn on and everyone hops in.
It was crazy. As I was watching this scene again, I'm originally from Detroit, so I was watching it. I was seeing the make of the trucks. So I was like, Mercedes, BMW, fucking Tish. Oh, Ford, good job. You bought American. Thank you, sir.
I would have actually liked if it was like a part of the cover for this operation was an Evil Knievel jump, and we saw the Evil Knievel jump as like the undercover for why all those trucks are there, and then they've packed up. Evil Knievel left. Now the trucks are available
And then Evil
for the
Knievel, after he
terrorists.
lands the jump, pulls out a gun and shoots somebody because he's with them.
What if his name
My name is Evil.
What if it's Nico doing it the whole time?
Nico Knievel?
Nico Knievel, yes. He does a smile. It's like, Nico, do the thing you do. You cut to him in the Super Dave outfit. He puts on the helmet and goes to jump the truck. Oh my. Oh.
So the terrorists all get into their trucks.
Yeah, and
they
Richard
get their
Lynch
assignments.
he says, 18 hours from now, America is going to be a different place.
Yeah.
So we assume that all of this is about to happen in 18 hours.
It takes a while to drive because they're going to like all the different cities, all the major.
I mean, that's a great big convoy.
Yeah.
Walking
Well-
through the night. They gotta. It's gonna take a while to get there. Those.
I mean, they cut out a ton of this movie, but what's going to happen is just things start happening to the point where you go, how long has this been? What is the timeline?
Yeah, it's like they go, in 18 hours, America won't be the same. And then that card comes up and says 16 hours later. You know, like, let's not worry about what happened already.
I remember watching that scene. I remember like, it was like in 18 hours, America will be a different place. I checked the movie time. I was like, I have an hour and a half to go. This shit's going to take longer than 18 hours. He's
That's going to be a hell of an 18 hours.
So Norris is now having a meal at a taco stand, right?
It doesn't look like he's eating Mexican food, though. This is like a Michael
No,
Tanner.
he's a real
taco
Tanner.
stand.
Yeah.
He ordered,
He's
no,
the guy
he
who orders
went
the burger.
and he got the best thing. He ordered a beer.
He's having a
He ordered
beer
a
at
burger and a
He's
Budweiser
got
at
a
the taco
Corona.
stand. They brought out the one frozen patty they keep for the one guy who comes up and orders the burger.
It's like
on the
low-key
kids'
like that
menu.
scene out of like Demolition Man. This like kept like, I want a burger. No, tacos. No, I want a burger. Taco.
Oh, they lost
burger.
the fast food
Carne
wars.
directa. Wait, is that? I think that's what's happening to you right now. You keep insulting Mexican food, and they keep giving you carne directa.
I say it's good. It's just not that good.
Oh no, we gotta stop this.
And
Don't at me.
So the government guy comes up and he's like, "Are you ready to do the job?" And Norris is like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then he just leaves without paying his bill.
Yeah,
sticks
this-
it with the government. You know?
fucking this guy, agent of truth, justice, and the American way, fucking dines and dashes.
Yep.
Is it because it was a Mexican place?
Michael Tanner.
Yeah, he's pulling a Tanner. Not only did he order the burger, but he's not gonna pay.
Yeah,
It wasn't that good of a burger.
Chuck's like, you know what? They steal from us, I steal from them. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, they came here
Jesus,
illegally.
Chuck.
It's a cash-only business.
Clearly not paying taxes. Man, he really was an agent of the IRS this whole time.
That's this whole movie is just hunting down tax
He's
evaders.
so awesome. He was like, every time he kills his mother, pay your taxes, douche. Pay your
Time to
taxes,
pay your
douche.
tax.
April 14th is coming.
Yeah, this should not 4th of July. We should have done this for tax
The
day.
tax man cometh.
So now we have the FBI on the beach. They're like, man, we don't get it. Somebody invaded our country last night. We just don't have
There's
a clue.
no trace of them. No idea. Did anyone see 35 tractor trailers hit anywhere?
There's a bunch of U-boats on the beach in Florida. I mean, it's just a Thursday. but,
Discarded U-boats.
you know.
And I
Okay.
love the tells like, figure out where they came from. Sir, these are more than 40 years old. You got your work cut out for you. Yeah, I quit.
I want to go hang out with the armadillo.
Exactly.
Then the reporter lady's there again, just so she can see like a little glimpse of Chuck Norris. Mm-hmm. And she goes, "Cowboy," and then he disappears into thin air.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
Batman
it.
style.
Just enough to get her mouth wet.
It's gonna let you explore the
For a
space
little-
on that one.
for
for
a
a second.
taste of Chuck.
Yikes!
Okay.
So
Man, you just turned this room into a tomb. Like, we all just got him flat faced.
It was like,
No.
I'm not sure what to do with that.
Well,
now here we go. This is apparently we don't know what time of year it is until today. Right now, it's Christmas.
it is Christmas
Oh,
time
yeah.
in Jesus-loving white America.
Okay, and then this is when I also started ripping into Florida a little bit because there's a family putting up a Christmas tree in the front yard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, supposed to go inside.
Yeah.
Well, they
I
probably
don't know how they
already-
do things in Florida, but you know, maybe they got the outside
Well,
trees.
I can tell you from my upbringing on the East Coast, we have the tree inside the house, but then if you have a tree in your front lawn, you're decorating that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with
Dad's
that.
getting up on ladders
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
staples.
see.
He's putting up all kinds of lights. We're doing the whole thing.
He's
I
pretty
thought
much
it
every
was,
year your dad's risking his life doing this shit. He's going
okay.
up there in the middle of like an ice storm trying to put up lights, then press the neighborhood.
Yeah.
See, I thought it was kind of like Last American Virgin, where it was like Golem and Globus are Israeli and have no understanding of American.
Yeah.
Like they're just like, yeah,
It's
Christmas
outside.
tree. They decorate. It's on the front lawn. There's trees on the lawn.
Tree. Why would
That's
anybody bring tree inside your house?
Yeah,
Nobody
like
did
of
that.
course, if a kid is visiting his girlfriend who just had an abortion, of course he's going to bring a tiny Christmas tree and a bag of oranges. What? Of course, right? That's America.
Makes sense.
So guys, this scene is pretty incredible is that it's just all these families having like a good Christmas Eve.
And it's so
So
milquetoast.
America.
It's so Americana. It's more Ovaltine, please. Everything about this. It's just like the opening with the Cuban refugees. It's all just like nothing but hope, and everything's gonna work out just fine for you and Mom and me, Dad. It's gonna be awesome. And then what happens?
Dad's going to get his job on
Yeah.
Christmas morning. Everything's going to work out.
Oh,
Mr.
man.
Scrooge won't be mad like he was yesterday.
Merry
He's gonna
Christmas,
give
you old
his-
lamppost.
Everything's going to be amazing tomorrow. But then,
Richard Lynch just pulls up in a pickup truck with a rocket launcher.
It's just like a pickup truck.
It is. It's not even like one of the
literally a
semis that they had. There's not like a bunch of people that storm out. It's just one man with a rocket
And
launcher.
as he pulls up, not only do we have the family talking, all this Americana bullshit,
Yeah.
but also there's two people like kissing in a car.
Yeah.
A couple white kids
Look.
run by and start throwing around the football.
Nobody's ever gonna have a problem again. Okay, nobody.
We needed like a 3-year-old celebrating a birthday, like blowing out
Somebody being
candles.
like, oh, "It's all good. The cancer's cured." All this stuff.
It's just
Oh
all
my
of
God, Grandpa's here. We thought he was dead. He's back. You know.
at one point, this kid with glasses comes running down the street. She bought me the gun. She bought me my BB gun. I'm not going to shoot my eye out.
it. Everything's perfect.
It's morning in America.
Until the fucking Russians show up, right?
Those Ruskies.
He takes out the rocket launcher. Boom!
He just starts taking out every house.
It's specifically the house we saw that
Like we
family go
watched the
inside.
kid go
Yeah.
inside the house because dinner's ready, honey. The casserole is almost done.
Okay,
And then
Hurry, the Grinch is going to come have dinner with us tonight.
now this is the
Dad's
best
dressed
part.
as Santa. He's coming in.
Best part about the background of this whole movie. Now I don't know if you guys know this. This is a real neighborhood they blew up
I kind of figured it was when I looked at it.
Well,
yeah.
you could tell it's practical.
in
Yeah.
We're blowing up
Atlanta.
houses.
So also, by the way, you can tell it's not Florida because why would they be like? Nobody's gonna have a brick house in Florida. I wouldn't think that would be stupid. But this is in Atlanta, and apparently they got permission to. They were gonna tear down this street for some sort of public works thing.
The airport was going to
Airport.
extend the runway.
So they said, okay, you can blow up this whole neighborhood, and it was full of real houses. And
Oh, cool.
They let them blow it all up.
I love when that happens. It's happened in a number of movies where they have this area that they can destroy because it doesn't matter anyway.
Because it doesn't look like a set. Like it doesn't
At
look
all.
like
No,
the
no,
back
it looks
lot
like
of
a real
Universal.
Like
neighborhood.
watching
Yeah,
that movie, you
legit.
go, son of a bitch! They shot a rocket into someone's house.
I will say this though, like I remember watching this scene. The first rocket goes in. Holy shit! He just killed that whole family. Fuck! And then he shoots the second rocket. Like, damn it, he did it again. And the third rocket's like, oh, okay, he's still doing this. And by the
Yeah.
fifth rocket, I was like, that son of a bitch has not reloaded once.
I had that in my notes too. I was like, how many shots are in this thing?
Exactly. I was like, is this like fucking Halo and shit? He's over here playing rockets and just like letting it go nonstop.
It's
you-
glowing blue, and he has to like hold it for a couple seconds. He's like, hold on, I just need to wait for this.
I imagine just Nico
use
handing
the
him new
needler.
ones, and Nico's like, "Can
Nico
I?
is
Can
a
I
good
try,
friend.
please? Can I shoot the next one?"
No.
He's like, "No, Nico, no."
You
Wait,
get your own-
doesn't he give Nico a shot? Like
Because
at the
Nico's
end?
about to shoot, and he takes it.
Oh,
from
that's
him.
right.
He goes, let me do it.
Oh,
yeah, that's right. Nico's
Nico's
gonna
a
do
good
it.
friend. Rostov is a bad friend.
Yeah. That's
right.
Be a
This is
Nico,
Rostov
not a
does not
Rostov.
share.
Goofus and Galant.
Okay, then that was when the movie. It's just totally forgotten about story or anything. We cut to like Hispanic people having a party.
Yeah, we're just doing vignettes.
Yeah,
now.
they're just having a dance, having a good time.
I will say this: I was still on board for this scene. But go ahead, because for me the story still made sense up to this point.
Yes, yes. I think about it's. We're starting to get to
This is
the
the
point
first, like, well, that was a bit of a jump.
Yeah.
You know, and before it just becomes nonsense.
because
Yeah.
now we're on the montage of all the terrorist things happening. So, and this is kind of a good like if they had followed through with this and brought some story to it.
Yes.
you could have
This
had like
one's
a
the
good
interesting
moment.
one.
It
yeah.
was, and this when I was like, when I saw this, I was like, it's actually a smart movie. It was the moment where I said, "There's a good movie in here that just got left somewhere."
Yep.
Yeah.
There was a really solid idea about what's playing out, but it kind of dropped the ball. But go ahead, explain the scene.
So what happens is there's this Hispanic group and they're having like a dance and there's music
It's like
and
a block
food
party.
and all this. Yeah, they're
it's
having
like
a good time.
Cubano block party, probably in Miami.
And so then all of a
For the timing,
sudden,
it's a Christmas block party.
Yeah.
Exactly, and with plenty of good food for the three of us, not Michael.
Yeah, Michael would hate it.
Cuban food is great.
yeah, we would all be enjoying it.
Platanos. My wife is
first be
Cuban,
stretching.
so things that her family is familiar with.
Oh my god!
Oh man.
Cuban food, amazing food.
Oh, here it goes.
Cuban
Here it
food,
goes.
A plus.
That's a man who knows
Mexican
how
bread is
yeah.
B plus.
There it is. That man has no bias whatsoever.
Just know your limits.
The food of my wife's people.
Know your limits.
he's oh Oh,
So we're having this this block party. Everyone's having a good time, and then the cops pull up.
Yes.
And this cop in the driver's seat looks like Howard Stern playing the T-1000.
I can't even picture that, but it makes me laugh.
Thank you.
And that's when his partner is the guy who will keep showing up in the movie.
Oh,
He
yeah,
is
yeah.
an Asian guy, but he gets out of the car, and they just start shooting all the Cuban people, Hispanic people.
Because the
And-
the party goers are like, oh, the cops. Like,
yeah,
oh,
nobody's
we're gonna
complaining.
get hassled. Someone's complaining with music. So it's kind of like standard America.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cops just start firing.
Yeah.
So standard
yeah,
America.
'cause
Standard America.
Yeah, one of the guys says,
How
"Are you-
relevant."
you know, here you are bothering us again. Can't you just leave us alone tonight? You know, it's Christmas. Boom. And then at one point
Yeah.
he's like, he said leave some witnesses.
Oh, yeah.
So they leave some witnesses, including the reporter lady who there's that
Like,
scene.
why is she at this party? We don't know.
I don't
Nobody
know.
knows. Just taking pictures.
Just hanging
for
out.
some unknown reason.
But they don't shoot her, and there's that scene, that tense scene where he's got the shotgun on her, but he
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
pull the trigger, which if the armadillo was a reporter, what a great scene where you have just
Because it would have rolled up into the ball and escaped and like outrun the bullet.
Yeah.
And then he would have had that stare down with him. Was like the same armadillo, but from before.
Yes, he noticed him from the house. He's like, I think I know that one. Yeah. I don't know.
No, it's like Emil from RoboCop. You're dead. We killed you. The armadillo just stands there.
That just rolls off.
a little blood, a little bit injured. He's like, "You'll never kill me," and then roll.
Yeah, I like the idea. It's just like a little cut.
He's got a facial scar.
So she's one of the few people left alive to tell the story. And then another cop car pulls up, and they're like,
These are the
"Fuck
real
you,
cops.
get out
but
of here."
now the people.
Yeah, exactly. Someone's giving them NWA
And
tape,
that's
and they're like, "Fuck the police! fuck!"
And it's actually
fuck the police.
a pretty smart move because now
Yes.
they've turned the inland Latino community against the cops.
Exactly.
So no one's gonna call the police about anything.
Hey,
No.
you know what? But guess what? Fuck that. We'll never follow up on
Yeah.
this.
No.
Not
That's happening
once.
in a different movie.
You have put the seeds of such a great little plot line of like, oh man, now the people don't trust the cops and nobody. No, fuck it. Just go to Norris is now driving down an interesting part of town.
It's a small world of the.
It's a small ghetto after all.
It's a Skid Row world.
so
It's
we have.
like I was saying, it was literally like this scene is like literally every single ghetto you've ever seen all in one. It was like, here's some black people, some pimps, some hoes. Here's some white hookers now. Here's some Latino gangbangers. Like at some point, I was waiting for like that Chinese kung fu gang to pop up. Like, oh shit, they're here, Little Rice Town.
like the Huns and the Warriors.
Yes. All of a sudden,
There
Chuck
is
Norris
like a
pulls up
Warriors gang that attacks him at one point.
Jack Burton's truck is just chilling. Little China.
Wait, like literally the Huns are there. And Chuck Norris gets on his truck like, let's get down to business.
So when he's driving through, everybody's just going, "Fuck off, fuck you." Why? Like he's just some guy driving.
He's just
in
a guy
truck.
driving a
yeah.
truck.
There's no reason.
There's
for this
no
to be
reason.
happening.
And then if you're like, okay, like, so he's the white guy driving through, but then there's like the white biker gang guys
Yeah,
who are also
exactly.
like, fuck you.
Yes.
I think they just don't like Chuck Norris.
No, guys, there's an obvious reason for this. Because there's the one person that we all hate. They know he's the tax man.
Oh, here we go. That's it.
He mounted a sign to the front of the truck that says, pay your taxes.
His last
on the side. Fuck you, man.
his last case going undercover was in that neighborhood, and they're like, "You never show your face around here again."
He
That's
called
why he
people
knows
tax
this guy.
cheats.
Yes.
He was Erwin R. Shyster
He
from
made the hookers pay
WWF.
taxes. You did 50 blowjobs last year and $10 a blowjob.
Did you
This
report
comes
your
out to-
tips?
And again, he always gets too close to the case, and he's handed out W-2s secretly, just trying to like, come on, guys, come on.
His business card has a W-2 on it.
And so then he just goes to this bar where we do have this great scene where he walks in, and apparently nobody's allowed in this bar unless you know somebody. And this guy comes up to him, he's like, "Hey, are you buying or selling?" And then he breaks that beer bottle in his hand, which was a good part.
There's also boobies in this scene.
Yeah.
I remember this from childhood.
And your dad's like, "Tanner, don't tell your mom." And so then he just sits next to a guy at the bar we'll never see again. And he's like, "Oh, here's some information." And he's like, "Great." And he says, "See you in hell, Norris. Send you a postcard." Okay.
Wonderful.
I don't really know what went on or
who this guy is,
Yeah.
what's the backstory, anything.
who knows. Now we go to the aftermath of the shooting. The FBI is there, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't know. Maybe this has something to do with the U-boats. I don't know."
Is this all connected?
Here's the thing: is there's witnesses, right? And they're like, we have no idea who did this.
Damn, there are no leads.
And the witnesses are like, it was the cops. The cops came and shot us. They're like,
I guess we'll never know.
Guess we'll never know.
Well, we'll just have to put somebody on paid administratively.
Yeah.
And, we'll take it from there.
Well, we promise you we'll never stop looking for the killers.
Exactly. We're on this. Guess what, everybody? We're going to get body cameras. Woo-hoo! Problem solved.
And at one point, the
Man,
reporter,
mine keeps shutting off. I don't understand.
the reporter lady says,
It looks
to
like
him,
my tie got in the way.
she's like, people are fucking getting shot. You can't solve it. And he looks at her at one point. He goes, this happens every day here in Florida, and we don't have enough people to cover it. I'm like, just cops rolling up on a party and shooting people happens every day, like,
And not just Florida.
yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
Can't really argue with him.
Yeah.
He made a good fucking point.
That is the best point made in this movie.
The movie could have literally ended, credits rolled right there.
He's
Would
like,
have been fucking amazing. Damn. That movie was ahead of
Well,
its time.
Cautionary tale.
based on what you're telling us, man, we all better turn ourselves in.
Then we just follow some random guys at a bar. At this point,
Is this where we're hearing people talking about it?
You
Like
just
after
don't-
they watch the news?
Yeah, but we don't know what the fuck is going on, who we're following or anything. There's just these random goons that walk into a bar. There's that part where they like knock over some guy's water while he's cleaning his car, and this is going to be a whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's a weird.
that was random.
The one of the goons, we did see him before because he's one of the fan boat guys, because he's the one John Eagle shot in the hand.
The fan boat boys?
Huh.
Yeah, fan boat boys.
I didn't
Fanboys.
even notice that. The
Because he does have his hand bandaged. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, he's the guy that John Eagle shot in the hand. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Was that in the novelization or?
No, that was me
They go
from
on-
watching the movie, Mike, with my goddamn eyes.
There's a whole chapter about him getting the bandage and all that.
Oh, that was probably in there. That sounds
Yeah.
like something.
That was on
And
Karate
when-
Commandos, too.
And when they started their band, the Fanboy Boys, and Charter to America.
Yeah, they're opening for Florida Georgia Line.
Oh, there it is.
So
and
what-
everybody at the Fanboy Boys.
So one guy brings a lady into a room. Is this the guy with the bandage?
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
the guy with the bandage brings a lady in a room, and then Chuck Norris is just waiting for him there.
Somehow he just teleported in.
This
Yeah.
is where we've started with the Chuck X Machina.
Chuck is magic.
Yeah. Which was like, as I was watching this, it was like, so many questions. One, how did you know he was going there? Two, how did you know he would get the hooker? Three, how did you know he would go to that exact room?
Well,
four, how did you know to hide in the closet?
should I present
Five,
my,
how long were you in that closet?
Well, here's my theory.
Oh, God.
Oh no!
Chuck got blown up at the beginning. He's now a vengeful spirit. That's how he's everywhere he needs to be, exactly when he
no.
does. Because he is haunting
Chuck
Richard
Follows.
Lynch. It's Chuck Follows.
Okay, wait. I'm on board for this. But here's the thing, though. If I know anything about ghosts, and audience, please trust me. I know a lot about ghosts. I've seen Ghostbusters. The thing about it is, a ghost usually needs to attach itself to some physical form, to some person or something like that that can guide them around, kind of like Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg. So in this situation, what you're telling me is Chuck Norris' spirit has attached himself to the armadillo. And the armadillo is rolling around.
That's
from
what
area to
it
area,
is.
transporting his ghost.
I think that's good.
Yes.
That's real good.
It's the most logical thing.
There it is. It
It's
makes
the
so much
only
sense.
possible explanation. I feel like the 60s Batman show. We just solved one of the riddles.
Do you think at one point the armadillo have a little tiny rocket launcher? At any point, is he gonna have one?
What, like something Gizmo would have used in Gremlins?
Yes.
The avenging Chuck spirit has a bazooka that shoots the armadillo.
Oh my god.
And the armadillo comes like,
It's the fastball special.
Yes.
The leprosy bomb.
Yeah.
I want to see a scene now where the hooker lays right away. Like, what happened? The dillo.
Hello. Okay, so Chuck Norris just basically pins this guy to a dresser with a knife. And he's
It's
like,
pretty brutal. Like,
Yeah.
Chuck's wearing black gloves like he's in a Jallo movie.
And he's like, I want information on Richard Lynch's. And then that guy whose car, he was all upset about his water getting pushed over, comes in. And he's like, I'm going to beat you up.
There's
that
a great
part.
line.
Yeah.
Are you going to drop it in? I
Of
think
course.
you should drop it in.
But
Where
this
he
is,
says,
If you come back in here, I'm going to hit you with so many rights, you're going to beg for a left.
so Tanner and I were talking about this movie earlier, and he said, you were saying great written dialogue.
Oh yeah, it's great. There's some great lines in there that are delivered terribly because it's Chuck Norris. So it
Yeah.
sounds like
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit you with so many rights, you're gonna be begging for a left.
this is like the martial arts champion in the Human Tornado.
Yeah.
Who just goes like, yeah, I don't think you should do that.
I'm
That's like the
sick of
toughest thing to say.
frogs.
And you just be like, Chuck, maybe once more, a little bit more. No, he's walking off. All right.
We needed
He's
a...
done.
That's it, everybody. We're done for the day. Someone go wrangle up the Dillo.
Chuck needed to team up with Grizzly Adams for a movie.
Oh, him and Dan Haggerty?
Dan Haggerty and Chuck. He has the card at the beginning that says you need to turn the volume up for this movie.
So he gets some info. He basically finds out where Richard Lynch is going to be, right? But then the one guy who got kicked comes back with like some bigger dude.
Yeah.
He comes in with backup, and that's when Chuck just sort of looks up and goes, "You're beginning to irritate me."
This part, though, he kicks that guy, and then he pulls out a grenade, pulls the pin,
Places
and the
it
other
in a
people are
guy's
like,
palm.
"The fuck is this guy doing?" And they just run out. Smart, by the way. Get
Smartest
the
characters
fuck
in the
out
movie.
of here, right?
And he tells him, if you live through this, tell the Russian I'm coming.
Yeah,
he
because
actually
he puts
uses
it
the line again.
Yeah.
Tell Rostov it's time to die.
because
Yep.
he puts it in the guy's hand, and then just leaves the room.
And as I was watching this, I was like, Chuck, he can just throw it away. It's like, I don't understand.
There's a window.
You walk over to
there.
the window and
I'm
toss
like,
it out.
you do not know how grenades work, Chuck?
You know what
No.
he should have done?
No, he doesn't.
He should
He
have
knows
thrown it.
Uzis. He knows roundhouse kicks.
Because, by the way, he could have thrown it at Chuck. He could have just easily
Exactly.
just
As he
lobbed it
goes
down the
down
hallway.
it's just like,
just toss it down the hall at him. Wait till he's far enough away.
it was like, no, this backfired on me, no.
Man, what an ending that would have been.
Cut the credits.
Just Chuck looks down like, huh? Boom. And then just black screen. Invasion USA. And then the rest of the movie is just the armadillo avenging Chuck.
I would have watched that. I would definitely watch that.
So then we get probably the best set piece in the movie is a mall on like Christmas Eve or something. Everybody's
Oh,
shopping,
yeah.
right?
It's Black Friday.
It's Black Friday. Everybody's having a good time, right? They're all spending their 80s paychecks here, buying all their gifts. And then there's some guy walking around the mall with a little present.
He's the glasses goon who is the trigger happy guy on the boat from the opening.
So again, another guy from the Fanboat gang. Fanboat boys.
Fanboat boys.
We do watch that scene where like, that little scamp, that kid throws some gum on a truck and that security guard's all upset at him and everything.
That
seems
truck
of
is
life.
like a gun on a counter.
Do you
we're spending a lot of time looking at this truck.
Yeah, do you think Nissan was excited about getting that truck in that movie because their name was all over it
Yeah.
on the windshield? Like the thing is on the
That's
fucking
the best
windshield.
product
To the
placement
point
since Pieces.
we see the guy, like the glasses goon, leaves the bag in a department store, and then some good Samaritan guy's like, "Hey, buddy, you left your bag, guy," and he's like running after him,
This is
after
a
him.
lot like in Ms. 45 when she leaves the bag.
Yeah.
And like, after a certain amount of seconds have passed, let it go. Like if
Yeah,
if
'cause
the
he keeps
person-
following
If you're
the
trying
guy.
to return a bag to somebody and they start sprinting away
Yes.
from you, they
Yes.
don't want the bag.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and
Let-
you don't want it either.
You know what? Yeah, put it down.
Yeah.
You should also get away
Yeah.
from the bag.
Because he's running after the guy's like, "Hey, buddy, stop!" And he's breaking into a full fucking sprint down the mall, and he's still going after him. But you do have this great scene when that bag explodes. That dummy work is wonderful because you see this guy just go boom and just fly up into the ceiling. Then all of a sudden, like a truck comes in and like people are just getting shot up, and
Yeah.
the whole fucking mall is
This
getting
is another
exploded.
Chuck Ex Machina. This is when he bursts through the wall like the Kool-Aid Man.
Yes.
Chuck just just goes boom right in the pickup truck.
Chuck Norris just drives his truck through the mall. Just like fucking Blues Brothers style. Like just goes through.
He just comes with roundhouse kick,
Oh, man.
pillow kick.
Chuck leans out. He's like, "I'm on a mission from God," which is the most Chuck thing he could have said.
That would have been badass.
I
but
do-
then my other problem with the scene was I was like, so wait, if you knew they were going to be there and you knew they had this bomb, why did you show up after the bomb went off,
Look,
Chuck
man.
Norris?
Or maybe call in and say, "Evacuate the mall. Evacuate the mall." No,
You know what? You got to talk to the armadillo. He's the one who summoned him.
There it is.
Norris had at least run over a few civilians.
He did.
You know,
No question.
But you know the reason why he didn't call though, because he always works alone.
Oh,
It's
that's
true.
true. Yes, that's right. It's hubris that got in the way, you know?
It always is.
If a few people have to die, they were probably evading taxes anyways.
There's a nice little there's a little gag in the background that I really loved because they show the mall security guy in his like security cart and he comes rolling up and everyone's shooting each other and shit's on fire. He just turns around and goes back.
That is really good. I forgot about that.
Rightfully so.
It's super quick. He just does a little U-turn. He's like, nope, just
Well, it
nope,
is-
on out of there.
It is also like a middle-aged dude working as a security guard. He's like, "Dude, fuck this."
He's like, dude,
I get
it's already
$5.45
Christmas
an hour. This is not worth it.
at Christmas time. It's like my day's been rough enough.
Exactly. He's like, my only training was a 2-hour video. Fuck this. I don't have a gun. I don't even have pepper spray.
But
I have a
this,
flashlight.
this part, though, they are destroying everything, which is great. Like in true canon fashion, no set piece went unused. There's like a part where he rams a guy through a gumball, like a gumball case of just thousands of gumballs, and this guy's flying through it. Like shop windows are getting exploded, like magazine racks, everything. Not one piece of that set was left after they were done filming.
And it was a real mall. That was
Really?
Yeah, it was a real mall that was apparently being like it was going to be completely renovated. So they were like, "Yeah, do whatever you want."
Yeah,
in
just
here.
blow it
Like,
up, I guess.
Yeah, we're rebuilding it anyway. So
I gotta say that's really smart, and I'm surprised more movie studios don't do that now. 'Cause
Well, it's
they-
canon, so like no matter what, cheap as possible. So they would just use their contacts to be like, okay, there probably wasn't a mall in the script. They were just like, we got a mall.
we got them all.
This is true. This is
we
true.
can somehow fit this in.
This is true. This movie probably even take place at Christmas time originally.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Why would there be all these people in the mall? Christmas. There we go.
Thanksgiving? No. Christmas.
So then the terrorist gets in that big Nissan truck.
I just knocked over stuff. Oh, this became a bit. It's not a bit. I just knocked over a bunch of stuff on a table.
Terrorist's favorite car, Nissan. They take that Nissan. They like get in the car chase through the mall with Chuck. Then it's out in the mall. That's when the security guard drives away. Then we get some long car chase where all of a sudden the reporter lady's shown up.
Yeah, somehow she teleports also.
Into the car where Chuck is, they're chasing and everything like that.
Yeah, and
then it's weird. The terrorist grabs somebody.
Oh,
and is,
yeah.
like, carrying them. And I kid you not. So as I was watching this, I kept watching it. And I was like, how the fuck is she being held there for all this time? They're going at least like 70 miles per hour. They've covered at least 5, 6, 7 miles at this point.
And as far
it's
as we
like,
can tell, this teeny bopper is being held by like her hair, or
exactly.
he's got,
Like, is her dress caught in the door?
or he's just
blah,
got like
blah,
an
blah.
arm over her, like
Exactly.
he's taking too big of a thing from Home Depot home with
Yeah.
him. He's trying to hold it on the side of the truck.
And that's the thing. Then I see him like, whoa, he's holding her this entire time with his one arm.
We're doing a chase scene one-handed, holding on to some teenager.
Exactly, driving at the same time. And I saw that, I was like, Chuck, don't fuck with that guy. He can beat you, Chuck. Look how strong he is. You do not want to fuck with him.
That was like, I saw this video clip of the band Killswitch Engage, and there was a dude got up on stage to stage dive, and Howard Jones grabbed him by the back of the belt, and just for a couple seconds held him like a briefcase, like he's holding the duffel bag, and then tossed him into the while singing the whole time.
Seriously?
Well, he was a big dude. You know, so it was kind of like that. It's like, oh, I would not fuck with this person.
So the way it gets in a big car chase, right? And the reporter lady saves the teen girl from the car by bringing her in their car. If Chuck Norris is driving,
Boy, that's a
It's-
filler scene, isn't it?
It is.
it really is.
And the hilarious thing is the whole time she keeps saying, what are you doing now, cowboy? Oh, no, cowboy. What are you going to do now, cowboy?
You know what this is like? It's like you're playing an N64 game, and there's only and like it's taking you a while to complete this mission, and so they're just cycling the same quotes for the non-playable characters.
like Link
Do a barrel roll, Chuck. You know,
like Link in Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Like, what did she always just say? Like, what was the sprite always saying in Ocarina of Time?
I don't know, man.
I got nothing.
Damn, why
Damn
don't
it.
Damn it, none of us are really hardcore gamers.
No.
It's just the beard's gray now, man.
There it is,
It's been
bro.
too long.
Yeah.
So in the car chase, he does his signature move, which is, I'm assuming, how he would get all his tax evaders too. Is he just rolls a grenade into the scene, right?
Easy enough.
So if you don't fill out your W-2, eventually, instead of the W-2, you're just gonna find a grenade in your mail slot when you open it up.
Speaking of which, do you think the sequel to this movie is him going to capture Wesley Snipes? And that's how he ends up in jail.
So he just throws a
Can we
grenade.
make that movie now?
Oh, I would still watch that movie. Pay your taxes.
Hi, Wesley. Seems you bet on black and lost.
So he throws a grenade in the truck. Then what I do love is, in typical canon fashion, you can't just have one car blow up. He like rams into this crowded
Like
parking lot.
a used car lot,
Yeah.
and everything
Yeah,
explodes.
all 50 cars just light on fire.
At the end of The Punisher.
Yeah, for just basically a throwaway scene.
For nothing. This is all
go,
just to save some teenager.
Yeah, because at the end the reporter goes, "Thanks for the ride, cowboy." That's it. That's it.
That's
And
it.
he moves on to the next level.
Yep.
As if for a reporter, she asked like 0 questions whatsoever.
Nope.
Like there
well,
should have
she
been
did-
there should
okay.
have been a screen that popped up with his score for finishing that part. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
She did take
Or
a
like a little
picture.
dialogue box is like, choose what happens next. Reporter thanks you. Reporter comes along. Reporter interviews. Reporter thanks you. On to the next one.
She does take a picture. That's it.
It'll last longer.
Which, when I was watching that new King Kong, I kept getting annoyed by the journalist of that movie. Because all this crazy shit happened in front of her. I'm like, take a fucking picture. You got the camera. Like, there's King Kong is right in front of you, and she's just like, wow,
How
take
majestic.
a fucking picture.
Isn't that something?
So at least this lady,
Well,
you know,
she saw The Lost World, so when Julianne Moore took a picture of that Stegosaurus baby, ruined everything.
well, I feel like they get back. They'd be like, so you got any proof about this King Kong or anything? She goes, damnedest thing, I forgot to take a picture.
Wouldn't you know it?
You know, had all these lenses,
Funny
cameras,
story.
everything. Yeah,
Funny
Aren't you a
story.
photojournalist? Poultry winning? No? Oh, okay, never mind.
So then we just go to Richard Lynch talking to that guy that Norris knifed, and he's like,
yeah.
"Hey, you betrayed me." Is this the guy he also shoots in the dick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
This scene ends with him unloading on him. He shoots him in the dick like 3 or 4 times. But the part that's more profound than that was that he spits on him while he's going down. So he's like, blam, blam, blam. And he goes, "Pugh," while the guy's falling.
yeah.
And you got to think that was an ad lib. Like, you gotta think, like, after the squibs have gone off and they all cut, he got up like, what the fuck was that? Why did you
Dude.
spit in my face?
Yeah. Richard Lynch was into it, man.
Yeah.
Again, did great work in this movie.
Yeah.
Again, on the cutting room floor, there was a good movie in this.
Yeah. And so then I do
and
love
after
this
his
part.
meltdown, is that what you're about to talk about?
Well, about Nico.
About Nico being the best friend in the world?
He's like, dude, we can't just stop our whole invasion of the U.S. to kill Chuck Norris. And he's just like, no, we can't. We can. And we will.
Rostov, the movie's called Invasion USA, not you're obsessed over a guy you met once.
Met once.
I know he hurt you.
Like, their only interaction was that one scene at embassy. Like, they don't even know each other
Like,
beforehand.
did Chuck leave him at the altar? What's his problem?
Nico's literally trying to get the other henchmen to do an intervention for him. All right, guys, we're going to write the letters. We're going to tell them how we feel.
And they're like, man, he's going to shoot us in the dick. I don't want to do this.
He's not going to shoot you in the dick. Next scene. Okay, maybe he's going to shoot you in
All
the
right, he's
dick.
going to shoot some of you in the dick.
They're just like, we're out. Never mind.
Okay, so Norris is driving his truck. He drives like crazy. He's okay. So there's all these soldiers on the streets now. We don't know what's going on. Martial law
There's
has
martial
happened.
law.
And then Chuck Norris is just driving in donuts around soldiers, and not one single person is like, maybe we should find out what's going on with this guy,
It's
right?
like,
the guy driving fucking crazy
It's
around
like
town.
Dark Knight Rises. That somehow Bruce Wayne got back in. It's just like hanging out in Gotham City.
It's like nobody's just just Chuck Norris in a truck. Don't pay any attention to
Because
him.
he's got the sign on the front of the truck that says, pay your taxes.
He's an agent of Law and Order.
Like, he goes right up to a roadblock, does like a huge fucking donut in the middle of the street, and they're like, see you later, Chuck. Have a good one.
It's like, shouldn't we stop him, sir? Do you want to get fucking audited? Bye, Chuck. Have a good one.
I would rather be shot in the dick by the other guy.
Listen, I've got a boat I can't afford. You hear me?
Are you following what I'm saying?
It's like we have 2 choices. We catch that guy, get shot in the dick. We fuck with that guy, pay our taxes. Just stay here and watch the border.
You know what? My dick had a good run. I'm not going to worry about the tax cut.
So then we get some terrorists dressed as soldiers. So the same guys who were the cops. They're now dressed as soldiers. And they quarter Chuck into an alleyway. And there's that great part where he goes and he asks Chuck Norris, he's like, you got some ID? He goes, yeah. Boom! And just shoots the guy.
There's a Han Solo on him. Now, I thought that, but it was like Chuck didn't even know those were bad guys. He just didn't like how ethnic these dudes were.
No, how
You know-
that's what I thought about too. When he shoots him, I'm just like, well, I guess Asian people are in the military.
He's like-
That's how he
He's like, wait a minute. I remember World War II. He's
Exactly.
like, you're not fooling this one.
Exactly. I'm not getting Pearl Harbored.
Yeah, got to
Because-
get up pretty early in the morning to get me on that one, Takei.
That is exactly what happens, though. Because when he goes up to the guy while he's dying on the ground, he's like, do you want to give some information? And the guy just starts yelling at him in Japanese.
He's like, as I thought.
Or Chinese. I don't know.
Yeah, I actually don't know.
I'm willing to bet
A
probably
language
Chinese.
that's not...
Because I assumed the Asian terrorists were agents of communist China, so I'd go with that.
would make
Oh,
sense.
maybe that would make sense.
Or
Because the villains
Vietnamese.
are
Okay.
unified commies.
That's true. So maybe it would be China. You're right.
Or North Korea.
Well,
But we don't get any explanation. Chuck
No.
just shoots him.
Yeah.
Because he goes, you feel like talking.
Y'all bleed the same.
Yeah, and that's when I did write. I was like, why are they working with the Russians?
That's what I'm saying
The
too.
fuck is
Shit,
going
why are we
on?
doing that now? Who knows? People just work with the Russians sometimes. You can't really, you
just
can't predict it.
They just got like some sort of charm, I guess. The Russian
so.
charm,
I mean, have you seen that picture of Putin shirtless on the
Yeah.
horse?
He kind of looks like Chuck Norris.
Look, though. He looks like a man's man.
So
Telling
then,
you, yeah, for all he's a horrible dictator, Putin can get it.
so here's the thing. He responds in some language, and Chuck Norris, not speaking that language, just goes, I didn't think so, and just shoots him. He could have told them the whole thing.
Exactly. He could explain the whole plan. So here's the thing: we're invading America. We came in with these U-boats, and then the guy like, "What are you doing?" I'm telling you,
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous that the English words aren't coming, so I'm speaking my native language. Wah!
I appreciate the,
This is still better than getting shot in the dick.
the quiet racism of Chuck Norris as opposed to Chuck Bronson. Because Bronson's going to do a big monologue about his problem with Asian people, whereas Chuck's going to go, nope, and then just shoot the guy and move on to the next thing.
We know that Bronson wouldn't have even asked him the question.
Yeah.
He would have went up and went to the white guy and asked him, like, all right, you're going to give me the information, right? Because that's what Chuck Norris does. He holds up the ginger guy, and he's like, I'll tell you everything, man. He does. Go to...
Gingers roll over immediately.
They have no souls.
Well,
I assure you.
Yeah. Again, he wanted to keep his dick. Like, he's running off, man. He's done after this. He's getting a fan boat. And he's going out to Florida.
He's going on tour with the fan
Yeah.
boat boys.
So then we go to the police and soldiers. They're like patrolling the streets. Then we see some like old dude and his wife and like a kid, and they're going into a church, and we're just like, the fuck is going on?
Yeah, and they're running into church like they're escaping the Nazis.
Low-key.
Yes.
They're like,
Exactly.
oh, hide, run, quickly. Look, is it clear?
And there's also a police helicopter saying, don't go outside.
Yeah.
Do not go outside or go in public. But no, they're all gathered in a church.
Yes.
Like hundreds of people.
It's crazy. They clearly have martial law instituted. They should be inside by 7 o'clock. It's clearly like 9:30. Yet the preacher is like holding this meeting. Was like, why are you breaking the law? Why are you putting these people in danger? You are not a good spiritual leader.
Yeah, I mean, not only they know that they're going to blow up crowded places, right? We had the mall, gone. We had a neighborhood, gone, right? So now they go, well, why don't we get everybody in town in this church? You know, it's not like they're going to attack a church. I mean, these terrorists have morals, right? No,
Because if they don't have their Friday night service, the terrorists win.
true, Tanner, true.
Well done.
USA.
USA.
USA. So then they, the terrorists plant a bomb on the front doorstep, kind of like Baby Moses, you know. Just over it. That would have been a good little joke if they wrapped it in a little.
I would have loved if they had hit a bomb in a nativity scene.
Yes, and they just knock on the door, like, oh, little baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus is there.
Why is Jesus beeping? So
Frankincense and C4.
the guy runs back, right, and he's got the remote, and we're like, oh my god, all these people in the church are gonna die. He flips a switch.
And nothing happens. Click, click, click. But then above them, on the roof, spawns Chuck
Yeah.
Norris.
Within apparently 10 seconds, he got all this done.
The vengeful spirit of
Because,
Chuck Norris.
by the way, we didn't
Bayou
cut.
Ghost.
We watched
The Dillo rolls up to the side of the wall or to the roof. The ghost pops out.
because we watched the guy run across the street, get the remote, and now all of a sudden Chuck Norris not only has the bomb, but is standing above them with the bomb on a roof.
With two severed wires
I would like to think
connected to something.
he maybe had like a cherry picker and like the Dillos controlling. No, up, no.
Like, I feel like this entire movie is an extended nightmare sequence that Richard Lynch is having. I'm just like, you know, it's like the night before a big test. He's just like, man, everything about the invasion goes wrong. The bombs don't work. Chuck keeps ruining everything. I'm
always
naked for some reason.
But there is that great part where he looks at him and goes, "Didn't work, huh?"
Now it will.
Yeah, drops it on him. Boom. They all blow up. That's it.
That's
Cut.
it. Nope.
Cut to
End scene.
now we're watching some grocery store manager, and he's like, "Look, we know we don't have food." I'm like, "Well, I don't know."
That was news to me.
fuck is
Yeah,
going
they're talking about
on?
rations. He's like, everyone needs to be limited to. We're out of fresh meat.
Yeah, I think
everyone
he
needs
said,
to be limited
like
to 12
last
items.
week, it's only 12 items. I'm like, what the?
Like, you mean like the moment the invasion happened,
Yes,
they were
how
like,
many
we're out of food.
days has gone? Like,
It's only been 18 hours. What are you talking about?
No,
Let
yeah.
me take this back. We're at hour 15.
So that's where they got the trucks. It's all the trucks that deliver the groceries to the grocery store.
Hey, by the way, I love how when we do it to the news, they're like, yes, all over America. But Chuck is literally only in Florida right now.
But he stops the whole thing.
Exactly. Literally all over America, all this bad stuff is happening, but Chuck's in Florida.
well, okay,
Meanwhile,
so
Seattle is burning to the ground.
if you notice, like halfway through this movie changes from Florida to Atlanta. Like all of a sudden they just
Yeah.
say, "Now we're in Atlanta." I'm like,
Chuck's there too.
okay.
Every town has a Chuck.
Well, again, if it's a spirit,
Man,
Yeah.
this is like Orphan Chuck. There's just
What was
clothes.
that? What was that? If you have an armadillo, you have a Chuck Norris. So like Canada's like fuck right now. Someone get us an armadillo.
But
Chuck
Arizona,
Norris.
totally safe.
Exactly.
Not even affected.
It's like in Where's Waldo when you get to the land of Waldo's. Arizona's crawling with chucks.
So the reporter lady's
It's
here
infestation
again.
USA.
For some reason, the reporter lady's here because we know it's an important scene now, right?
She's the watcher.
Then
Shit's about to go down. She appears.
the army shows up. Oh no, they're terrorists.
Oh no! But it's
And-
okay because Chuck doesn't drive by.
Yeah, he just
He comes
rolls
rolling by
up,
in his pickup truck and just shoots out the window.
just fucking starts killing all these guys. While, by the way, all these people are still standing in front of the grocery store like, what the fuck?
Anyone who doesn't know what's going on.
And again, these people are like, well, who's the terrorists? These are the
Guys drove by and shot the National Guard. And there's supermarket employees that are armed and start shooting at the soldiers too. I'm like, this is
Florida. Everybody's armed. Everyone
has a gun.
That's the thing. A guy in a pickup truck shooting at the grocery store is a normal occurrence in Florida.
stand my ground.
So then Nico takes the reporter hostage, and he's like, I got you now, Chuck. And then he just goes, no, and just shoots him, shoots him dead. Here's the thing about a Chuck Norris movie. There's not one time when anybody's going to get a punch or even the jump on him. Nope, never.
No one even gives him a look.
In one of his movies will he ever let anybody get one kick in.
He's
Nothing.
untouchable.
Yeah, because he didn't even let Nico point a gun at him.
Nope.
He's like, wait, what happened to Chuck? Oh, God, I'm dead.
Even when Chuck Norris appeared in The Expendables, no one touches him.
Nope.
He just
Like he
doesn't
literally
allow
like
it.
something blew up. He walks through like, "Hi guys," and then leaves. Like he's like, "No one's allowed to touch me. No one's allowed to address me directly."
No one looks me in the eye.
Yeah.
Except for the girl and my armadillo.
Right.
Sylvester Stallone, the fuck's that armadillo?
It's on his
doing here?
shoulder.
This is the part that really upset me, is because the reporter says, while she's being held up as a hostage, she says, Hunter, do something, you shit. And I go, do they know each other that well? Like, hold
Why?
on.
Well,
what?
they go back to that mall situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, did she ever learn his name?
Though
I
he
thought it was
responds.
just cowboy.
Yeah, I thought it was Cowboy.
He responds to her with, "I better leave before you get mad."
Yep.
Now,
And he gets in his
with
truck
line
and-
delivery exactly like that.
I'm assuming, Tanner, that in the novelization for children, there
they
was
fuck.
a couple, a couple of them.
Wait,
Yeah.
in the serialization or the animated series?
In both.
Oh.
Very tastefully done.
They
Very
went
tastefully
through
done.
the entire Chukka
See,
Sutra.
you need to look at the Invasion USA hentai to see to see fuck Norris.
So yeah, he kills the guy. Very uneventful death. For one of our main characters, he's taken out within seconds.
Yeah.
There's no tension. Then Chuck Norris just walks away because she's yelling at him. She's like, I can't believe
This is
you
like
did
your
that."
thing with Chuck Bronson doing
Yeah.
the I'll come back.
Yeah, I'll come back. That's it. Because Chuck Norris just basically says, he's like, you're mad. I'll come back. Women, am I right, guys? And walks to the truck. She throws a trash can lid. It just hits something.
Yeah, she does
you know.
like a solid like Captain America throw with that trash can lid. If it had any weight to it, she'd have taken his head off.
I feel like if that hit him, it would have been a bad take. Like, it would have been bad news. So it was like, whatever you do, don't hit Chuck with that.
She was gonna
trash
get a
can lid.
roundhouse. Chuck doesn't care. He's gonna walk back over like, "Did you throw that?
Who threw it?
Just tell me who threw it. I don't care if it's true. Just tell me who threw it.
I'm not
upset.
mad.
I'm not angry.
Someone's getting kicked. It doesn't have to be you. Just point to
There's got to
somebody,
be
and I
some
will.
sacrificial lamb on this
Yeah,
set.
exactly.
They're like, it was the PA. Just
It's like the same PA who's been getting kicked all set. Like, not again. He's like in bandages wrapped up. Like, not again, Mr. Norris. Whoa!
and he goes, look, if I don't teach you the lesson, like somebody's got to learn a lesson, you know, or else people are just going to keep throwing stuff at me.
It's the only way.
So then we go to the school bus, right? We just cut randomly to, this is like the end
We're-
of Deep Impact,
We're
okay?
evacuating all the children.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is
Because they're the future.
The
we're
meteor
gonna have
is
to
coming.
procreate for us once we're all dead.
Here's the thing. They're leading off this little girl, like in her family, that were in the church, right?
Right.
And they're like, we'll take you to another country right now is all fucked up. I'm like, what? What? Like,
to
they're
Canada?
in a
Where are you
fucking
go-
school
where
bus.
are you
Yeah, they
driving?
we're in Florida. Like, are you going to Canada? Are you going to Mexico?
They're not going to Mexico.
That's what I figured. I'm like,
Of course,
so
because of the food.
they're
For
gonna
the food.
take
Then why
this-
would you do that to kids?
bus all the way to Canada? Are
By
they
the
just
way,
going to
everyone-
drive up to the border and be like, you'll take them, right?
By the way, everyone, we're at hour 17.
None of this makes any sense. We just we were almost supposed to have these as like side characters. Like there's gonna be some sort of subplot. Nothing develops. All of a sudden, they're driving a school bus and they're like, row, row, row your boat.
Yeah, they're all weirdly chipper considering the
And
circumstances.
look, they're kids in America. Nothing bad will ever happen, Bobby. Ever. Oh my God. Terrorists.
Goddamn terrorists showed up again.
And now they got the old C4 on a timer,
The old
right?
sticky bomb.
And they put it on the side of on the bus, right?
Big blue timer. They have a great POV shot from one of the little girls on the bus, and she looks out the window and goes, like, is that a bomb? It's just this little ticking thing.
So then Chuck Norris just shows up in the scene randomly.
In drives Chuck Norris. He's there
disappears.
again.
You realize the whole movie is just now him driving to places in his truck and saving the day.
And killing some terrorists.
He just very uneventfully, just takes the bomb and then still gets to do his signature move, which is just toss it into the car.
Yeah, in his beat-ass pickup truck, he catches up with the terrorists, sticks it to the side of their car, and does a, did you lose this? Because he's Bugs Bunny at this point.
Yeah.
He should be eating a carrot while he does this. And Elmer Fudd should be leading the terrorists.
Now, I was upset because in typical canon fashion, they didn't pull into like a giant, gasoline warehouse where like more explosion happened. It's just one car that blew up. I'm like, oh, man.
Disappointing.
Yeah, it's like you can't do all that stuff earlier and tease me with all these explosions. You got to keep up in the ante.
Well, at this point, we bump a mall, we bump a neighborhood, we're running low on budget.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Running low on places to blow up.
That's true.
So now we're in the middle of an abandoned carnival that's been blown up. And Chuck Norris is like looking at rides and he's just all sad. And then the government guy shows up. He's like, I think we're going to get him or something. And I'm like, just sitting there myself going, what the fuck is happening?
It's a super vague scene. Like
Like,
the dialogue's not really giving us anything.
I'm like, did they
There's a
blow up-
moment like, think of the risks. And he goes, think of the stakes. I'm like, what?
There's-
Why? I don't.
Prime rib? Like,
Yeah.
There's no bodies
Trump steaks.
or anything. Like, it looks like they just blew up an abandoned carnival. Because there's no children or parents or anybody. It's just like, maybe he's upset. He was a big fan of the zipper. I don't know. But he's just walking around. He says that one line. I forget the exact line. I have it written down here. He says, congratulations on taking Nico out. And I write, who? At this point, I didn't know his name was Nico. And then Norris grabs the government guy and he goes, didn't help these kids, did it? And I was like, what kids? What are we talking about? Like,
It's the off-season.
I'm just
No
very
one's at this.
confused at this point. And then he says,
There's
for
no one
every
at this carnival but a couple juggalos.
he goes, for every one I stop, 100 succeed. I'm like, in what? What?
Well, that's
like,
it's
when-
happening all around the
when have
country.
they succeeded?
Yeah.
We've seen you stop everything.
Like, yeah, I haven't seen them succeed. Like,
Is he
Chuck
talking
Norris
about
again.
terrorists? Or you just talking about people of color. Some of them are graduating high school.
He goes,
Like, Chuck, that's okay. You can't.
And have you heard about this guy that's coming? This Ojama, something? He's coming.
Do you know what his middle name is?
so then he just hands this guy a paper, and he's like, everything to solve the movie's on there. And then the guy
He
opens
handed
it,
him
he
the
goes,
script.
yeah, he goes,
That's how he knows where to be at all times.
this is crazy. We can't do this. And then he just walks away, and I guess we're going to do it because I don't know what the fuck's going on. Now we're in Atlanta, and they're like, okay, all the heads of state are converged in Atlanta, of all places, because we
that's
can
a really
film here.
good idea, by the way. If there's an invading force that has touched down on U.S. soil, get every important person in the same spot. That's
By the
a
way-
really good idea. Don't put them all in hiding in different places.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone who matters is all
Not-
in
by
one
the way,
location.
Not in the middle of the country, where it would be a little bit harder to get to.
Yeah.
Go right to Atlanta.
Exactly. Well, because that's where Coca-Cola's made. And we need Coca-Cola.
We got-
And there's this
Oh my
thing called
God.
the Illuminati and the Koch family.
That could have been a good ending, is if they were trying to blow up the Coke factory,
That
and
would've
Chuck's
been
like, you know
amazing.
what? No, this is one step too far.
It's
No,
like, what's
no,
more
no.
American than Coca-Cola?
I thought
So
it may
now-
be a reveal at the end that Chuck's been helping out the Illuminati. Like they all start licking their eyes, and Chuck's just like, "Wait, like what is this?"
Yeah. So now we're getting all the heads of state in all of America that are left into one location in Atlanta.
Converged on one easily bombable location.
And I was like, can we discuss what's happened in the world? Like, what the fuck is going on, man? We'll never find out.
No.
And I said, don't worry, we don't have enough time, but we do have enough time for Chuck Norris watching TV.
Yeah.
We get to watch him
I thought it's
watch
kind
a
of interesting
movie.
that he's watching a movie about alien invaders attacking the U.S.
Yeah.
For inspiration.
And by the way, laughing at the aliens getting the better of him. Like, there's a part where like an alien abducts somebody. He goes,
It's not how it would go down if I was there.
No, I wish she had been watching the original Invasion USA.
Like 52.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I was like, oh, that's pretty clever. Then I looked it up. I was like, oh no, it's Earth versus the flying saucers. What a boring
So
choice.
probably couldn't get the rights to it. That's what they probably want to use.
Yeah.
so he doesn't have his shirt on, right? No, well, he has a shirt on, but not
he's in
buttoned.
the same like Canadian tuxedo he was in at the beginning.
Yes.
He's got the denim shirt that's open, the old Hollywood video uniform,
And
that's
then-
left open.
The FBI and SWAT and all these people show up and arrest him. And the FBI guy says, "We gotcha. I don't know who you are, who you think you are, but it's people like you that turn this nation upside down. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is above the law." All right, what?
Yeah,
What the fuck are they talking about?
good point. New character.
Good job arresting me, the guy who's been saving children in buses and carnivals.
Was this a thing like a Batman thing? Like
Yeah.
they were going to be all upset, like, he's this vigilante and he's going around. That was not established. in
Chuck's
this
the Dark
movie.
Knight.
So
He's
then,
not the hero we want, but he's the hero that we deserve.
so now
And Michael
Richard
Caine
Lynch,
hopes that one day he'll be sitting at a cafe in France, and Chuck Norris will be there.
Ordering a hamburger.
That's right, and a beer.
So basically, the plan is
Sir, we don't. This is France. We don't. Okay, Connie and the Rata.
All right, just point at who I'm supposed to roundhouse. It doesn't have to be you. just someone's getting roundhoused.
So the whole point now is that Chuck Norris gets arrested. He talks to the TV camera, and he's basically like, "Yeah, I killed Nico, and now I'm gonna get you next." Again, does America know who Nico is? Like,
Very specific broadcast.
and then Richard Lynch is all mad because we know
Is
how he
everyone
feels.
that big of a Velvet Underground fan? They're like, he took out Nico.
And so basically, it all ends with like Richard Lynch storming into this compound where he thinks they have Chuck Norris, but then they start shooting up all these rooms, and there's nobody there. And they don't realize this until room like 20. They're like, wait a second. We're not shooting anybody. We're just shooting empty rooms. And they go, fuck, it's a trap. Because the USA,
Admiral Akbar was there?
they have all surrounded the outside, and they're killing all the terrorists.
And that was the thing that he handed the guy at the abandoned carnival, right?
Yeah.
It's a little piece of paper. It said, "Bring the army." And he's just like, "We can't do that."
It's like Eugene's letter in Monster Squad.
And then we just get Richard Lynch hunting Chuck Norris around the office building with
Or
a
is
rocket
Chuck
launcher.
hunting him?
Exactly, because nobody will ever get the better of him. Nobody can even say a one line to him, nothing.
There's a moment before the Godzilla Defense Force showed up where there's a guy about to take off in a helicopter, and Chuck comes around the corner with a bazooka. And they have kind of a stare down, and the dude actually tries to start and take off a helicopter before Chuck can quick draw. It goes like you expect it to. He's just like, oh shit, starts hitting switches. And then Chuck just blows him up.
Quick drawing a rocket launcher, by the way, I would have liked it if it just went off.
He's like, oh, I should have aimed first. I'm really sorry.
So yeah, they sneak around hallways, and basically it's just Death Wish 3 all over again.
Yeah, it's the same ending. We have the classic Western, like, quick draw, at high noon.
With rocket launchers.
rocket launchers. Which is funny because in this instance, Chuck hasn't even, like, unfolded his rocket launcher. He's got to pull some shit out. Richard Lynch has his ready to go, and he still comes in too slow for it.
And Chuck even lets him know he's there when he undoes it. It's like, choom, and he hears him, turns around. And it's like, well, you still got to like lock it in place, flip the switch, aim, maybe load it.
Yeah.
So
And meanwhile, while this is going on, the army is taking out the invading army. And the thing that we don't address in this movie is there's going to be a mass grave in Miami. Like, what are you going to do with these hundreds of bodies? Like, there's a body pit.
You saw how
Next
he dealt
to
with
Disney
it.
World.
You saw how he dealt with it at the beginning of the
Wait,
movie.
isn't
There's going to be a
Ours?
lot of full alligators in the body.
Yeah. They're getting
there
fat.
it is. There it is. There it is.
So, yeah, right before... Good.
I was gonna say how you end it. You just have Chuck Norris going around with lighter fluid and just lights
it
it
off.
off. Fuck
Just
it, guys.
burns down Atlanta.
Yeah, it's just
again.
Atlanta. Whatever. We're done.
It's been burned before.
They'll rebuild. They have Coke money.
And
So
right
it-
before we do our quick draw, Chuck gets to one more reprise of the catchphrase in this movie where he just goes, "It's time."
Yeah, it's time.
And then in a super closed quarters discharges a rocket launcher. So he took them both out, right?
Oh yeah.
There's no fucking way Chuck survived this because he's already a ghost. Well, that's why he's fine. Because he just we set off a rocket in a hallway.
And the thing is, it doesn't even explode in the hallway. It apparently like he takes him outside with the
blows him out the
rocket.
window.
Yeah.
And then he blows up out there.
Which is how Death Wish 3 had. Same thing.
Because even then,
only
Chuck
Death Wish
Norris
3
is
at
like,
least showed like a flaming skeleton.
Chuck Norris is like, no, I'm not going to dive away from an explosion. I would never do that.
I'm
In the
not
beginning,
I'm
you
not
got
gonna
one.
look weak.
Yeah, you
in
got
an
one in the
explosion.
movie. They got the jump on me.
I'm
but
not even going to
here.
flinch.
Yeah.
You show my eyes to show that I didn't blink.
And so that's it. Just rolls credits on it. Like, yeah, he's dead.
Like so many movies we've covered, we did this thing where it's like there's no aftermath. It's just the bad guy dies. We're
movie
out.
over.
That's it. Done.
Fuck
And
it.
America was changed forever.
Yep.
I was talking
It should have
to
just Chuck should have ripped off his shirt and Real American should have started playing. Just like dun 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 dun. It ends like a Hogan match. He just starts waving a flag around and everyone's cheering for him.
crashing down and it hurts inside.
so many movies in the 80s end like that, though. Because I was even talking to you, Tanner, yesterday. We were talking about, I said, doesn't Predator just end like that, too? Like, he kills the Predator, and they're like, fuck it, credits.
Well, I think like the
No, because
helicopter
they
shows
shows him
up
on
to
the
save him.
helicopter at the end flying
Yeah, he
away.
gets airlifted out of there at the end.
Yeah, and they're
There's
like,
at least
fuck
that.
it.
Yeah.
Angel ended with we shot the bad guy and we're just standing around in an alleyway and it rolls credits.
Well,
Like-
yeah,
like,
that ended with, are you going to do the
yeah,
paperwork?
That ended with them just murdering a dude.
Yeah.
And like, well, we're not going to worry about it.
From whence he came.
Yeah.
And they just walk
As
away.
above, so below. We got it.
So, guys, would you recommend Invasion USA?
Of course.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'd
Yeah.
recommend it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's fun, but that is kind of the tragedy of it. Is there is a good movie in there,
But they weren't interested in that.
yeah, they didn't want to. It's much longer than you think it should be for a movie that cuts out most of the plot.
It's an hour and 47 minutes.
Hour and 47
Yeah,
minutes,
and that's too long.
that is
Oh,
too
yeah.
long.
It's way
Oh,
too
yeah.
long.
For something so unbelievably stupid and cheesy, like that needs another 20 cut out of it.
Yeah, but if it had like the full, like we were talking about, like I wish there was a restored version.
There's
They
none.
shot it. Like that's footage
They
that they
edited
shot,
it.
and they edited it down to be the nonsensical
And they just
cartoon.
tossed that footage.
And they
There's
tossed that
nothing.
footage.
Nobody
Well,
has
like-
it. Like, there's never been a director's cut or anything.
Yeah.
Well, the
It's
home
just
video
gone.
market was just hitting, and VHS tapes don't have bonus features and shit like that. So
Yeah.
there was no thought that one day we're gonna have a form of physical media that can show you the stuff we cut out.
But I don't know if they ever saved any original reel of a working print or anything.
That's happened to a ton of films.
Yeah.
Where it's just like they tossed it in the can out back. It doesn't matter.
It
I
was
wanna
it
know,
was used
though.
for the bonfire at the Canon Films Christmas party. Like, they just burn it.
The ill-fated
Burn it
Canon
with
Films
John
Christmas
Eagle.
party that was attacked by terrorists.
Yeah, with John Eagle there, they just burned that and the film. Just fuck it.
But it was sad though because honestly, like the whole premise like was smart. I love that that Cuban like party scene. How they turned the cops, how they turned the people against the cops was like, oh, that's actually pretty smart. Like there was a really good movie there, and I actually wish that someone would like see it and be like, okay, you know, we could probably remake this. Like we could fix it.
You know what they can use as the basis? The novelization, which does have all that stuff in it,
Oh, and the animated series.
and the animated series.
So, Johnny, I know you haven't been here before for the show, but every show we go back to our first episode, which is 1977's The Van, to see how Bobby and DeVito would fit into the world of every movie we cover. Bobby, you look puzzled. How
I
are
am.
Bobby and DeVito going to fit in the world of Invasion USA?
Tater, do you have one? Do you
I'll
know
go.
already?
I'll riff. I always think I have an idea, and then I don't really. But I'm just gonna go with it. Okay, so we only see Florida and Atlanta during this whole invasion of the USA. But some of those trucks were bound for California, and I'm sure for Los Angeles. And as we saw Chuck drive around preventing terrorist attacks in his beat-up pickup truck, I imagine there's another red-haired man who's driving around Los Angeles, saving Los Angelinos from terrorist attacks in his beat-up yellow van. Can you
Tanner.
just imagine Bobby leaning out of the straight arrow with an Uzi, gunning down terrorists? Maybe while DeVito hangs out the back. And,
Yes.
tossing grenades.
Okay, the idea of there being an army of straight arrows coming after Bobby at his house. Oh, man. Or at the car wash. Like, him and DeVito are just at the car wash, you know. DeVito's pushing over a bowl of milk, and Bobby and him just...
He's his armadillo.
just having a good thing. And then all of a sudden, this army of straight arrows here. Because they all roll up.
I think that, we saw the yellow school buses evacuating the children. Who's going to evacuate the women? So I think that after the school bus pulls out, another yellow vehicle pulls up. And they just start loading all the women of Florida, as many as they can, into that van.
Just, they're like, yeah, that's a good point. Is like all the women are gone except for the reporter.
Yeah. So
And
what
can you
happened?
imagine Bobby DeVito? They're like, should we take her too? And he goes, no. She keeps talking. She keeps calling him a name or
And
something.
I think while Chuck was driving after the school bus, he saw the van and he was just like, I'm going to get to that later.
Yeah, I like it. So I kind of went with Tanner's. I like Tanner's.
Yeah.
I also like Bobby's.
you know,
So
I always like to kind of flip the genre on its head and make Bobby the hero, not just a date rapist.
you're telling me he wasn't the hero in the van?
Uh,
He had a character arc.
He had
Come
a
on.
character arc. Yeah, I know we rip on Bobby quite a bit in the van, but he's terrible. He goes through an arc. He's a better person.
It's not earned, but he has an arc.
Yeah, he
Like,
learned
The
something.
script called for it, but it's there.
There's only so much you
Not
can do.
earned. Yeah.
Did Chuck learn anything by doing this?
Oh, no.
Okay, there
He
it is.
learned never trust a comic.
Yeah.
There it is.
yeah.
All right.
But he already knew that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he learned some tax evaders are okay.
Wait,
You
which
know?
ones? Armadillo?
John Eagle, he's all right.
Okay.
If they die, then
Yeah.
They're
they
okay.
deserve a fire funeral.
Yeah.
We can't pour the barium. We've already taken enough from the government.
So, Johnny, why don't you tell people about yourself and where they can find you?
My name's Johnny Parker. I'm actually a comic book writer. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at JohnnyP313. I write some cool things. I write a video game inspired comic called Broken. I write a black and brown exploitation comedy called Black Fist and Brown Hand. So you can always check that out. They're on my Gumroad page. So by the time this posts, you can probably click in the show notes. You can probably find my link to my website there and check everything out.
And are you tabling at San Diego?
Oh, yep. I'll actually be in San Diego. You can find me in Small Press at N14. So come on by. I'll have all my books there. I'll be doing signings and whatnot. So you can come check me out.
And I will be at San Diego, just walking around. No, I do
Hard
have
to
a
miss.
panel. I believe it's on Saturday. I can't say what time it is yet because I haven't been
rad.
told. But it's going to just look it up. It's Unnecessary Debates. I'll be there. And that's all I got. You can visit my website at buymichaeltanner.com.
And to keep that rolling, any of our listeners who are going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, after you see each of those guys, I got nothing.
Bobby, are you going to be there?
No.
Well, neither will I. So,
So be sure to catch them and miss us.
Yeah. We're not worth seeing. It's fine.
Oh, I think you guys are worth seeing.
For sure.
In person.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Like,
Next
say
year-
hi.
No,
Let's
no,
make
no.
that the goal.
Don't lie to the listeners.
Let's
Don't
make
lie.
that a goal. Next year, live show from Comic-Con.
I like that idea.
Fingers crossed. See?
Yeah, it'll happen. Don't worry. We'll do a live show from Comic-Con, whether they invite us or not. We'll be there.
We'll do a live show from a van outside Comic-Con.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly.
my God, it would be so awesome from a yellow van itself. Oh my God, you just park on the street and we'll go in a parking lot. Oh,
Well, that's what the Patreon's going toward. We're slowly nickel and diming
yeah.
our way to getting a straight arrow.
Oh, yeah.
One piece at a time, like Johnny Cash taught us. So far, we just have the bubble window. We're working on it. And a toaster.
So
not even the
somebody-
waterbed yet.
Bobby, start the fan boat.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team!